you should pretend that I'm saying something poignant, something truly deep, possibly even metaphorical. What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile, yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lie. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mick. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile, yeah. Signaling their virtues on their profile. Hey.
Oh, Sasquatch? Oh, yeah, he's like the Sandy Waxlow of YouTubes.
Next time he'll get his own ketchup.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chillin with Sasquatch, where we basically sit around and stare at things that intrigued me at least once, or I mentioned it once in a previous show, and we go back and look at it. I have a baby. Check this baby out. Bam. See there? That's my kid. You're still muted, and I can't unmute you because you're more powerful than I am.
I do it every time. What can I say?
You could say hi.
Hi.
Oh, we're torturing children now. Let's stop. No?
No.
We don't stop torturing children. We just keep doing it.
We're not torturing her. She tortures me.
Oh. Well, that's perfectly legitimate abuse. You know, that's not child abuse or anything else. Just normal, everyday, average abuse.
What's up, Lawless?
Biggie and Bean, good to see you. Lawless World TV. Lawless World TV.
Hey, my kid don't look old. Shut your mouth.
like Pumpkinhead.
You know what I gotta say? Fuck you, you're cool, fuck you. Whatever.
All right. So last show, the last time we were talking, we looked at the most inbred people in Australia, right? The Colt family. Well, Kentucky said hold my beer, and they did. So tonight we're going to be looking at the Fugate family. Fugate. I'm not joking.
Fugate.
That's Fugate. Fugates. The Fugates. Fugates. You be the judge. But
Okay.
you want to say something to everybody before we started?
Hello. Welcome. Thanks.
See,
for
that's
coming.
part of doing the show.
Yeah.
You know? So, like when you're doing your show, you should do some sort of something like that anyway. And try to make the guests do it too, because that makes it look more professional, and it doesn't look like this trash that I'm doing, like a 8th grade AV project.
Well, let's say hello to the chatters. In my chat,
You do all of
the
that.
the gold goes to Lawless. And then oh no, I lied. It goes to Dead on Growing. Dang, I forgot. See, I messed it up already. And then I know, right? Silver is Claiborne, and then Gavin brings in Bond.
But you got to do it right. If you don't
Okay,
do it,
look, man, look, I'm
Claiborne
just
County Transparency gets the silver, and Gavin's PSBR2 channel gets the bronze.
I knew you were gonna tag me. There's nothing I can do.
What's up, Fern? Good to see you. We got JC News now. We got a old guy 65 Mitch, standing tall 710. That's a big boy. Big boy. We got C4T Cat is in the chat. Did I miss anybody? It's Boles. Blue Unicorn is
a lot of people.
fresh. I just don't want to leave nobody out because we are friends. And you know how easily haters can be adopted, right?
I got friends in low places.
All right. Okay, so the Fugates. We'll find out in a minute how to say it. This is a family.
Did you say hi to Wandering Hippie?
Did Wandering Hippie just showed up like 2 seconds?
No. I saw his name before. I promise.
Hello, Wandering Hippie. Welcome in. If I could catch up to your chat, I'll even highlight it and be like, hey, you got to get your computer fixed so we can go on that world tour we talked about. That one time, Bandcamp. Anyway. Okay. Do I have your permission to continue now?
Moving on.
If Binky ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So JC News now, welcome in. West Virginia and Kentucky are renowned for these reclusive valleys out in the middle of nowhere. When I say nowhere, like they're not on maps except topographical ones, and it claims there's no one living there. So when it comes to a census, it's sort of a hit and miss territory whether or not you're going to wander up into a particular holler and count how many folks is in there. Might want to just skip on by this one and write 10 to the power or something. I don't know. But this is one of those stories where you kind of have to see it to believe it, right? There's a condition that goes along with the fact that they were blue. It's not just that they're blue. There's a reason for it.
Well, let's find out why.
It's scientifically impossible to say.
That's horrible music.
Hey, homie's got just under 3,000 subscribers, and he's doing well. Him, she, her, whatever they wish to be. Okay. Judge. I don't judge.
It's all good.
My name is Brenda, and welcome to Horrifying History, where you will hear about the unexplained, paranormal, and supernatural happenings that have stained the pages of history.
All right, so y'all hear this slightly Wisconsin accent she's got?
Yeah.
My wife fusses at our dog in exactly the same accent.
Oh, yeah?
She's never been to Wisconsin that I'm aware of. I don't understand why.
Genetics can be a funny thing at times. In my example, I look like my mom, but when I had my DNA tested, I was genetically more my dad. In the cases of my niece and nephew, they both have the most beautiful shade of red hair. Apparently, my sister-in-law's grandfather had a red beard, but nobody is positive why these two won the genetic lottery with their hair color. Sometimes genetics can lead to some strange things, though. And in the case...
So you have a couple of cousins that were born soulless, and you think they won the genetic lottery? That's an interesting take on things.
Thanks for coming in, Hippie.
Yeah, Hippie, it's good to see you, bud. Fab Daddy 44, good to see you. People are going to act up tonight. Why would they do that?
It's a full moon.
Okay, there's that.
I knew something was going to happen.
It's called orbits. It's kind of predictable.
Of a family from Kentucky in the United States, they are now famous because of it. Welcome to episode 54.
Motherfucking LBG.
You Gates, a story of inbreeding.
I swear I'm not from Alabama.
A blue moon. Just saying.
And we're checking out blue people on a blue moon. Handy.
Horrifying History would like to thank the Retro Video Store podcast for sponsoring this episode. This show reviews movies from the VHS era and talks about everything from poltergeist to cult classics like The Lone Wolf McQuade. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Right. I really dig your channel. I've watched a couple of your videos. Can we move on, please?
On with our show.
Great. Silver nitrate along the way. I don't understand. Why would they do that?
I don't know. Why would they do each other? I don't know.
To pass the time?
No.
To stretch as a good workout? I mean, it's great at aerobics.
A bright blue summer sky.
There's plenty of holes to
not in the spring.
Find.
But when it comes to skin tone, blue is never considered to be good. It usually means there's a lack of oxygen in a person's blood, and this can result in many medical problems. It also can be a symptom of overexposure to silver or silver compounds, or possibly
Gregory?
Medications. But back in the 1890s in rural Kentucky, that was not the case. In 1890, a man named Martin Fugate immigrated to the United States from France. He was an orphan, and he wanted to start his new life in an area called Troublesome Creek in Kentucky, since the American government was giving away land free to people willing to settle there. Martin was born with and due to this, his family left him in an orphanage just after he was born. They felt they could not have a child so different, causing them shame. So this was part of the reason that as an adult...
I might throw you for a little loop with this one, but what are the humans doing? Lone Wolf McQuade.
Martin was drawn to the backwoods of Kentucky. Nobody could see his face. But after Martin moved to Troublesome Creek, that all changed when his eyes fell upon the girl of his dreams.
I'm on my channel, bud.
Elizabeth Smith was a beautiful young woman born in the United States. Who had snow white skin.
I almost didn't put your link in my chat. I was like, no, I want to keep him.
They fell in love and were soon married.
Plans are working perfectly.
But what the couple did not know, that inside of both of them was a recessive gene that was extremely rare. In fact, the odds are guessed to be about 1 billion to 1 that both of them carried a gene for a condition called methemoglobinemia.
That condition, that's that word that I couldn't remember. I even tried to say it before the show. I was sitting there trying to get it out, and I just gave up. It's words that and she just said it.
Be about 1 billion to 1 that both of them carried a gene for a condition called methemoglobinemia.
I'm not going back again. I'm sorry. That's all you get.
Oxygen is carried through a person's bloodstream by something called hemoglobin, which is a protein that is attached to a red blood cell.
What's up, Izzy?
Izzy releases the oxygen to the cells through a person's body, but there's a specific type of hemoglobin that carries oxygen but does not. This is called methemoglobin. If a person produces too much methemoglobin, it can replace a person's normal hemoglobin. This will result in
Too
not
much
enough oxygen
hemoglobin.
in hemoglobin cells. As a result, many health issues can appear, but the two most noticeable things will be that a person's skin will have a blue tinge and their blood will be chocolate brown. In the case of Martin and Elizabeth,
How woo werewolves along. Just a wolf cat jacking back on the stack, stacking them up right down to black.
they both unknowingly carried the gene for this disorder, and it affected their children. The
Oh,
couple
man.
would go on to have 7 children in total, and 4 of them
7.
were born with blue skin.
What's up, Bogey Views?
Even
Good
though
to see you,
3 of the
bud.
children appeared normal in color, they carried this gene. Now, despite of looking different, the Fugate kids were very healthy. They did not suffer many of the side effects that individuals suffering from this condition have, and they lived to a ripe old age. It didn't mean they had it easy, though. The family was embarrassed that they were different, and when they went into public, they suffered humiliation and bigotry due to their appearance. This made them start to retreat from
So there's a lesson here.
Is there?
Black, brown, yellow, or blue.
society. Also at this time, the group of people who took advantage of the government's land grants and founded the village of Troublesome Creek was incredibly small. In fact, the Fugates were one of 4 other families: the Combses, the Stacys, the Richies, and the Smith families. Most of the area founders came to the area already married, and due to this, the dating pool, it was a bit small. There was no Tinder yet, and because of the lack of dating options, the family not only intermarried with each other, but
Ew.
within their own families. For
Ew.
example, one of
Hey, it was
Martin
good
and
enough for the
Elizabeth's sons
Egyptians.
married Elizabeth's sister. Yes, their son Zachariah married his own biological
Roll
aunt.
Tide.
There are also
No,
many examples
no, no.
of cousins marrying cousins over the years, and this resulted in the gene getting stronger and stronger and passing to more and more people. In the case of Zachariah, his relationship with his aunt triggered a bloodline with one of the highest percentages of this disease, and it resulted in blue-skinned children in their line for over 150 years.
So tell me this one.
What?
How do you give a little boy from Alabama
What?
oh, I'm drawing a blank on a word. This sucks.
Uh-huh.
Oh, screw you.
As I mentioned before, this disease is extremely rare. It is considered so rare that if somebody is afflicted with this condition, it wouldn't normally appear generation after generation. But the village of Troublesome Creek was so small that they didn't even have official roads. There was no railroads to bring new people into this area until 1912.
Andorian lives matter.
Most lived in log cabins that were clustered together. And all of this in combination resulted in a lack of variety in the area's gene pool. With people marrying their close relatives, the predisposition of being born with a genetic disorder raised with each new generation. The locals who suffered from this condition were embarrassed, and they felt the world would not accept them. They didn't want to be subjects for medical experiments, so they continued to hide in the woods to protect themselves. As time passed, pink-skinned family members decided to leave the area in the early 1900s, but for their blue relatives, they stayed hidden in Trouble Creek. Stories started floating throughout the countryside about what was called the Blue People. There was always speculation by some
What's
on
up,
why
Cosmo?
the
Good to
Fugates
see
were
you, bud.
blue. Was it heart disease,
Hebrew
a lung
Hammer, what's
disorder,
happening?
or, as some of the locals said, their blood was just closer to the surface than others? No one knew for sure, since back then, doctors rarely paid visits to the remote areas where the Fugates lived. But then, a young hematologist from the University of Kentucky heard about the Blue People, and he was immediately fascinated. Madison Cawin started hearing the stories about the Blue Fugates when he started working at the university's Lexington Medical Clinic in 1960. This anomaly was just up his alley. Previous to this, he helped isolate an antidote for cholera, and he assisted in developing a drug for Parkinson's disease.
Welcome in, Chris Winks.
Hematology, which he developed as an Army medical technician
Oh,
during
snap.
World War II.
Brooklyn's in my chat.
Once
Oh,
said,
snap. Sorry.
Blood cells always look beautiful to me.
Because you're
Madison,
prettier than I
upon
am.
hearing about the blue people,
Yeah, better
immediately decided he had to act. He packed up his car and would drive from the university to the backwoods to look for the blue people he heard about. He had
Rainbow
zero.
Smurfs.
And one day, Madison was part of an American Heart Association clinic. This is where he met a nurse named Ruth Pendergrass. Ruth had tried for years to get the medical community interested in the blue people. Blue woman walk into a county health department where she worked on a cold winter afternoon.
Okay, so now we have
The
more
lady asked for a
information.
blood
I've been
test.
waiting for this line
Ruth-
for a minute. So we have information that apparently there are light blue, dark blue, and pink skinned people in this place.
Shut the fuck up.
Ruth later
Like, for
said
real?
about the incident.
I'm dead serious. That's what this has told us so far. We know
Well,
for
you can like speed it up a little. No, I'm just kidding.
I quote, "She had been out in the cold and she was just blue. Her face, her fingernails were almost indigo blue."
I remember now. How do you give a man in Alabama a circumcision?
I don't know how.
You kick his sister in the teeth.
It liked to scare me to death. She looked like she was having a heart attack. I knew that the patient was going to die right there in the health department. All alarmed, she told me her family was one of the blue Comeses who lived up in Ball Creek. She was a sister to one of the Fugate women. Now, around the same time, another descendant of the Fugate Combs branches named Luke brought his sick wife to a local health clinic. The staff took one look at Luke and immediately started to panic.
The only blue people that I ever knew about
Came
Smurfs.
was the ones in Vegas on the strip. The blue guys.
The blue band group. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only,
Yeah.
I mean.
I would lay even money. They had no idea that they were culturally appropriating an entire race.
Right? Probably not.
We may have found the most oppressed group in America, the blue people.
Blue.
Right?
I want to be pink.
I'm leaving that right where it landed.
running. When this information
Why
reached
am I embarrassed?
both he and Ruth knew where to start looking for the blue Fugates, but it wasn't easy. They started looking in the local hills, and sometimes they would see a person in the distance watching them. The person would
My
appear
bad.
to be blue, and when they would call out to the individual, they would run off. Madison and Ruth would take off in pursuit, but they were never successful. But then, one day, when Madison was working at a local health clinic, in walked Patrick and Rachel Ritchie. Madison was ecstatic. According
We're
to
going
him,
to cover that in a
they
couple
were
of weeks.
bluer than
Yeah.
hell.
The Wickerson or
Whitaker.
Examined
Yeah.
the pair. He found no evidence of heart disease. Then the hematologist came up with a theory and asked Patrick and Rachel if they had any relatives who were also blue. They said they did. This is where Madison sat them down to create a family tree. Madison remembers the pain that showed up on Patrick and Rachel's faces when he asked about their family. They were really embarrassed about being blue, Madison later recalled. Patrick was all hunched down in the hall. Rachel was leaning against the wall. They wouldn't come into the waiting room. You could see how much it bothered them to be blue. Madison, he went to work. He ruled out heart and lung disease, and soon he started to suspect the culprit was the rare hereditary blood disorder called methemoglobinemia. This resulted, as we said before, from excessive levels of methemoglobin in the blood. Methemoglobin is blue and is the non-functional form of red-colored hemoglobin that carries oxygen throughout a person's body. When a person has too much of it, it results in blue lips or nail beds.
No, I prefer the
some
way
who
you,
have
way you
more
wrote it.
severe
I'll be
cases,
honest. It sounds better to me. Oh no, Scully asked me if I were related to the Whitakers. Was just too proper. It don't sound right. I'm sorry.
They're blue. If the blue people in front of Madison actually had this
So
disease,
these people are blue because
you
of
see,
their hemoglobin,
All right, so
and not because they're inbreeding.
the reason they have the hemoglobin they have, the
It's taking too long to get there. Sorry.
is because there is a gene in the population from the upper part of Ireland where this has occurred before, at least once. And some of those people came to Kentucky or West Virginia or wherever they're at, and happened to breed and had some blue youngins who didn't leave the valley because they were blue, and everybody hated blue people, apparently. I've heard this story before. I can believe it. I mean, wouldn't you weird out if you saw some blue dude walk in and ask for a pack of smokes?
No, weird.
If I was blue, I'd wear a white hat and white pants.
I would be interested. Curious.
No bullshit. I would wear a white hat and white pants everywhere I went.
I mean, rock it.
I'd dress the part of a Smurf. If I'm going to have to deal with that joke, I'm going to own it.
I can be a Smurfette. The same.
Right? Yeah, we'll make it. I'll make it work for me. I promise.
Halloween's coming.
All right. So you're utterly just put off by this whole thing.
It's just it's well, I'm not the only one.
She's a new YouTuber. You got to make allowances for the fact that she hasn't had 10 years.
She has that voice that is just you following. Please.
All right.
I'm interested in what is to be said, but it's just her voice is putting me.
All right. So we're going to cut out a popular demand from Binky. Definitely dropping out of here because I can't have her unhappy. That's not permitted. All right. So we got a previous guest who has taken some footage from somewhere and put it up on his channel. And homie is the Constitution State. Let's see. Let's get that done in the right spot. And he's got a little something to say. Now, I looked at about 10 seconds of this video across it, but he's generally pretty good about it.
Brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
What's up, everybody? It's the Constitution State here. Today's video involves the Los Animas County Sheriffs in Colorado. There's two parts. There's the arrest, and then there's the actual incident at the department. Him and his son were going to the garage to drop a vehicle off. His son got...
Hey. Standing calls from Utah. He's the guy.
The guy?
That dude from Utah. He's the one. He's got like 37 accounts online, and that's everyone in Utah. He's the guy.
Standing tall in Utah.
Fantastic.
Got pulled over. He stopped, in my opinion, far enough away. Looks like 30 feet away at least. And was waiting for the stop to end. You guys will see what happened. They tell him to leave. He literally doesn't want to leave and then agrees to leave. And as soon as he goes to leave, they pull their guns on him and freak because he's leaving. It makes no sense at all. They tased him a whole bunch of times. They berated him. All for what? He did nothing. Remember, we're not here to berate police or belittle police or anything like that. We're just simply sharing what happens on a daily basis all across the country. People need to see this. We're not going to talk too much. Law and Crime does a pretty good job of narrating the first part, but definitely watch the second part because it's insane the way they treat this man.
Come on, guys, this is excessive. Stop. Come on, man. Wallet.
Disturbing body camera video shows a violent arrest in Colorado. Now the subject of an internal investigation.
This is ridiculous. Well, quit acting like an idiot. I ain't acting like nothing. I got a taser piece in my lip. You guys shot me right in the face.
This week, the Los Animas County Sheriff's Office announced it launched an investigation into the incident as first responders' use of force comes into question.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind. Put your hands. I'm going peacefully, fellas. Settle down. What's going on here? Get the back. Get back. He's recording this case. Oh, that's fine. He can do all he wants. This is crazy, guys. You do what you're told. You think it's okay just to roll up on traffic stops and not do what you're told? Now you go to jail.
The incident happened on November 29th of last year, about 3 hours south of Denver in Trinidad, Colorado. Originally, Sheriff's Deputy Mikhail Noel pulled over Nathan Espinoza for following too closely to his squad car.
All right, who gets to decide what's too close? That's not exactly an officer safety issue unless it's, obviously too close. But I don't know. I don't know, man. All right, it is snowy conditions. There's probably black ice on the road. I guarantee you the courts will give it to him.
Windows frozen.
Okay, what's up? Deputy Noah with the sheriff's office. Let me get your driver's license ready to pull that dog.
Allie, get back. Can I ask why you're a little snippy? What's the problem is?
What's the problem? Yeah, you're following too closely. Can't you see the roads are icy? You see me slowing down and you're still coming up behind me. There's no reason for you to be doing that.
Brakes in there.
It's not good. Don't tell me how I should be driving. Okay, Mark. All right, but that doesn't give you the right to follow a marked patrol car close like that. What if I had to stop? I know there is ice there. That's why I was cruising, so I don't slip.
Both, really.
There's no reason for you to be that close behind a marked patrol car.
Dollar says we catch that song as a copyright. Oh no, I ruined it. I fixed it.
Like that. What if I had to stop? I know there is ice there. That's why I was cruising, so I don't slip.
Both, really.
There's no reason for you to be that close behind a marked patrol.
No, man. Did you see the reservation guy, the reservation cop that ran over the folks chained to the freaking trailer? He's like, you got 30 seconds to move out of the way, and then he smashed it over with his truck. Absolute Chad, bro. I was sitting there saying it when Richie showed it to me yesterday morning. I was sitting there watching, and he's like, you're not going to believe what he does. I said, let me guess. He drives straight through the middle of them. And he looked at me real funny. I said, that's reservation cops, man. They can't come on that reservation and get them.
Right.
That's not permitted. So, like, yeah, you can just run them fuckers over. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're going to sit there and go, oh, no. Those poor green bastards are greasy spots on the L&M. If the council at the reservation decides not to press charges, well, that's the end of that story. You know how much money Burning Man brings into those places? Dude. Hey, lucky they live.
Patrol car. Okay, when you find that, stay in the vehicle, your registration and insurance. I'll be back.
At the time of the incident, Espinoza and his father, Kenneth Espinoza, were driving separate vehicles to a garage. When Nathan was pulled over at the traffic stop, Kenneth also pulled over his vehicle. Body camera video shows Lieutenant Henry Trujillo approach his vehicle.
Do you need to be behind this traffic stop?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
My son right there. He was following me.
Okay, he's on a traffic stop, so you don't need...
I remember this one.
Oh, you gotta be mean.
Oh, I'm not being mean. We just don't like when people pull in behind us.
I don't like when they pull my son.
That's what we get paid to do, to pull people over.
Well, you don't get paid to be a
And you don't either, okay? I don't got to put up with you.
All right. So right off the bat, everything's already gone under the bus.
Right.
Common courtesy was forgotten by the officer. Instead of explaining, hey, we're not a real big fan of you being so close, blah, 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 blah. With courtesy, he came in and was like, what are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you behind me? Stop it. Why? One would assume that most people on the road are law-abiding citizens, not evil, villain people. I would think, right? Don't you hope that the guy next to you on the road is a law-abiding citizen?
I mean, I would hope so.
I mean, I might not assume.
Okay, I asked you a simple question, okay?
Hold on, man.
In fact, you need to leave now or you're going to get charged. It's that easy.
Body camera video then shows the pair arguing about the father's decision to also pull over.
I'm recording too. I asked you a simple question. If you have attitude, that's your problem. Okay?
On my door.
Yeah, you saw me and you rolled your window up when I came. Hold on a second, okay?
No.
You rolled your window up when I walked up, okay? So I knocked on your window, okay? You are not a cop. You don't need to be behind me, okay? So you need to leave right now.
I don't need to do anything.
You got 5 seconds to leave, okay? There's no reason for you to be behind this traffic stop. No reason, okay? No reason, okay?
It's not a public
No
street.
reason.
Do I not pay
Okay? Do you always stop behind cops when they pull people over?
I ain't
think so.
right behind it.
Okay, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here, okay? You need to go.
No, I don't. I'm waiting on my son.
All right,
He's
fine.
right back.
Deputy Noel's body camera video shows what happens next when Lieutenant Trujillo walks away.
No reason. No reason. Do you always stop behind cops when they pull people over?
I ain't stopped right behind it.
Okay, you don't need to be here.
You
don't need to be
behind
here,
it,
okay?
sir.
You need to go.
No, I don't. I'm waiting on my son. He's my right back to Wilson.
Leave. Leave. That's the part. Stay. Hey, stop. Stop. Get out the car. Get out the car. Get out the car. Get out the car.
What are you gonna do? You gonna
That's the file. Give me the radio.
And that, children, is what we called a manufactured crime.
Stay, go.
Leave. Stop. Get out of the car. Put your hands up at gunpoint. Leave. Fine, I'll leave. No, stay. Stop. Put your hands up. Freeze. Or I will shoot you.
Do as I say.
Right? What really gets me is when you got 3 cops screaming at you. They're all telling you to do different shit.
Right?
It's like, would y'all please just shoot me so I don't have to deal with this shit anymore? Freaking idiots. Oh my God, stop it. Yeah, it was a total setup. It was a manufactured crime. Homie did that. I bet you he kicked the tire on the way by so that he could swear he made contact with it. That looked planned as shit.
Get out the car! 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 Stop it now! Get out the car! Get out the car!
Separate body camera video shows the incident from another angle.
Get out the car! Get out the car! Stop it now! Now! Get out the car! Get out the car! Get out the stop it now! Now! Get out! Get out of the car! Now! Get out of the car!
Exactly. That what was that? That was in Vegas, wasn't it? Daniel Schaefer. You remember that one?
Yep.
There's one cop screaming, crawl this way, another cop screaming, lay down and put your hands up, and another one was yelling at him to come over here. And he took two crawling steps across the floor towards him, and in the process, his shorts got pulled down to his knees, and he couldn't make the next one, so he reached down to pull up his shorts, and they shot him. It was a subconscious maneuver. It was something he did just so he could move his freaking knee. And they just shot him. It's terrible.
It is.
Car! You see this? Get out of the car!
You see this? Are you recording? Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording it. Yeah. What the hell do you think you're doing?
I ain't doing anything.
Okay. Now you're on a traffic stop and you're trying to drive away? Get out the car. Call state patrol. Patrol has nothing to do with anything. Okay, they don't have jurisdiction over us. Get out of the car
Hold your
now.
horses.
No.
I got my truck.
I don't give a put it in park.
I just did, pal.
Don't pull away from me.
I'm not.
You're going to get lit up.
I'm not.
Okay, you're going to get lit up.
Breaking my arm, man. Hold on, I'm gonna get out. Get out the car. I'm complying with you. Can you hold on?
I'm not. Get out the car, man. Get back over there now.
I'm trying. Just stay there and record.
Get out.
Hold on.
Now.
I'm getting out. I'm not.
You're under arrest.
I'm not.
Get out. Turn around and face the truck. You're under arrest.
Okay, guys.
Put your hands behind your
Settle
back.
down.
Put your hands behind your back.
Video shows officials tase Kenneth while attempting to get him into the back seat of a squad car.
Get out of the car.
Hey,
Now. Get out of the car.
Hey, Nate, do you see this? the fucking car. Do you see this out of the car? Do you see it? Are you recording? Yeah, we're recording it. Yes. What the hell do you think you're doing? I ain't doing anything. Okay. Now you're on a traffic stop and you're trying to drive away? Get out the car. Fall stay put. Get out the car. It has nothing to do with anything. You don't have to. Get out of the car. Put in the car! I just did. Seatbelt is off. You don't pull away from me. I'm not. You're gonna get lit up. I'm not. Okay, you're gonna get lit up.
Gotta get lit up.
I'm gonna get out. Get out the car.
He sounds excited.
Get out the car. Can you hold on? I'm not. Get out the car, man. I'm back over there now. I'm trying. You just stay there and record.
You're muted. I don't hear a word coming out your mouth.
All right. The cop outside has one arm. The cop inside has the other arm. They're both screaming, get out of the car. But he can neither open the door because he can't reach over and pull the latch, nor can he open the door because his arm is in the way of the window. So he can't push it open anyway. And if he does, he's going to get charged with assault on the cop because you know that door is going to touch him.
Welcome in, Desert Goat.
Desert Goat.
Desert Goat.
What's up, ex-bootlicker? Good to see you.
Then you guys get out. Hold on. Now, I'm getting out. I'm not you're under arrest. I'm not. Get out. Turn around and face the truck. You're under arrest. Okay, guys. Put your hands behind your back. Down. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm going. Put your hands. I'm going peacefully.
How he takes that gun and he, you know.
What's going on here? Trying. You just stay there and record. Then you guys get out. Hold on. Now, I'm getting out. I'm not. You're under arrest. I'm not. Get out. Turn around and face the truck. You're under arrest. Okay, guys. Put your hands behind your back. Down. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm going. Put your hands. I'm going peacefully.
He's juking him with that damn taser. He hadn't tagged him with it yet, but he's just punching him with it like a set of brass knuckles.
Get back! Hey, he's recording this case, but that's fine. He can record all he wants. This is.
Welcome in, Flow State.
Good to see you, Flow State. Welcome in.
You do what you're told, all right? You think it's okay just to roll up on traffic stops? No, I'm not doing what you're told. Now you go to jail. That's all right. I'm gonna turn around and face the truck. I'm already cuffed. You guys aren't listening. If you listen, you ain't get manhandled. Now let's go. Move. Let's go. That's great. You need to stay around. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in when you. I'm gonna tase you. Get in the car. Damn. No. Turn around and face the truck. I'm already cuffed.
Like that dude is on something.
So let's go.
Ego.
Let's go.
Huh?
Ego.
You need to get in the car.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying he's on ego. He's got a ego boost because this guy did something he didn't want him to do. So now he's going to beat him up and make him do what he wants him to do. But this kid was a
I think it's more than that, but you know.
Yeah, he went to drive. No, dude, that was totally manufactured. I was sitting there watching that, and he's like, leave.
And the moment he started to leave, he's like, say.
He pulls his gun on him and starts screaming. That's fucking absurd. Reasonable, articulable suspicion, illusion.
Yep. What's up, Raz?
Absolutely. This is wild, man.
Get in the car. Get in when you are doing the now.
But moments after Kenneth is seated in the back seat of the squad, he's pulled out once again.
You have your wallet on you? Don't do that.
All right, so listen up, folks. We didn't whip his ass enough before we put him in that car. We got to get him back out under some illusion, some reason, right? So I'm going to ask him for an ID, right? Since we're arresting him, we could just take his ID. So I'm going to snatch him out of the car, and then you tase him while I beat him with the billy club.
I'm going to get you out. I'm going to pat search you. Now get out. I got my wallet. Get out now. Get out now. Get out the car. Okay.
Like a bird.
Well, I faced the car. I'm already cuffed.
That was the only song that came into my head. What?
You look like you're wearing like a crown of fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Howdy, Lori's World.
Good
Party
to see you.
time. Excellent.
Lori's World. Lori Faustian.
So let's go. Let's go. In there. You need to settle down. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in. What you are doing? Get it now. Damn. Now.
But moments after Kenneth is seated in the backseat of the squad, he's pulled out once again.
You have your wallet on you? Don't do that, man. I'm going to get you out. I'm going to pass search you. Now get out. I got my wallet. Get out now. Get out now. Get out the car. Okay.
Get in, get out.
This is how it's going to work. Okay? You're going to do what you're told to do, and that's it. Stand up. Up against the car. Spread your feet. Come on, guys. You should stop. Come on, man. I got his wallet.
All right. So now we've mugged him. We beat him up and mugged him. Now we need to tase him a few times just to get it all squared away, right?
Right.
That's ridiculous. Well, quit acting like an idiot. I mean, acting like nothing. I got a piece in my head. You guys shot me right in the goddamn face. That's right. Go ahead and roll meds on that. Quit grabbing my arm. I'm not doing that. Lean up against the car. Jesus Christ. Spread your feet apart. I can't. Spread them. You already want me to spread them in the ice, I'm not doing this. Jesus, I thought you guys were good, man. I stopped behind my arm. He was following me forward, man. Just calm down, Fred.
Kenneth can be heard saying the situation is excessive, arguing he was tased in the face.
Come on, guys.
The face.
Come on, man.
I don't think there could be any argument on that point. Either he was tased in the face or he was not tased in the face. Either way, he was already in cuffs, bro.
Either way, they have done abuse him the whole time. I mean,
Yeah, there has been not the
in,
least
out, go, stay.
no courtesy whatsoever. Completely unprofessional. You want a popsicle?
This is ridiculous. Well, quit acting like an idiot. I ain't acting like nothing. I got a taser piece in my lip. You guys shot me right in the damn face.
Later, Deputy Noel can be heard explaining what happened, arguing Kenneth tried to run him over.
Hold on to the car, trying to open the door. The car, get out the car, stop the car, stop the car. He runs it while I'm holding on to the car. So I had him at gunpoint.
Lie.
I fixed him in the car while I'm still holding on to the car. And we tried getting him out of the car, and he had the car in drive, and he accelerated, but it didn't go nowhere.
First responders then discussed the tasing incident before taking the father to jail.
We tried to get him out, and he was refusing. And then when we tried to put him in, he was refusing. So I tased him, but he fell back. So one hit him here, one hit him in the chin or something. So we'll have Matt come and take a look at him. And then I tried to get him out to pat search him and get his wallet because he wouldn't tell me anything. And then that's when you rolled up.
Okay.
Well, that's because every aspect of this was completely unlawful, and at no point in time was he actually subject to any of the things you did to him. It could have started with Hey, sir, you're making me a little bit nervous. Can you back up a little bit or pull up in front so I can see you? He probably wouldn't even bat it. And oh, yes, sir. Wouldn't even thought nothing about it. He could have went right on with his day and everything would be fine. Now he's going to be facing a $5 million lawsuit because we don't like that. Right?
Right.
I'm going to get him over to the jail.
I'll have Matt meet you at the jail.
Kenneth Espinoza was originally charged with resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer, but those charges have since been dropped. His attorney says he plans to file a civil suit against the sheriff's office.
So that's the stop. What do you guys think of that? I think it's madness. The cops kept saying, it's a simple question. It's a simple question. He gave you a simple answer, a valid answer. He pulled over. He was plenty far enough away. He wasn't even doing anything. He was just sitting there waiting for the stop to be over. The cop got butthurt because he rolled his window up when he walked up. The dad and the son both said something about the cop's attitude. When the cop came up to his son, he said, why are you being so snippy? It's bad enough they got one unstable officer. No, they have two. That's crazy, but this next part's just as crazy.
All right, children, you should have been in bed by 8 p.m. No children allowed in the chat. Be gone, vile spirits. Thank you, Gregory.
We're going to try to get him in here. If he acts like a fucking idiot, he's going in the chair. No, just come on. All right, get out.
Can you give me a few minutes?
No, get out.
Just seconds, man. I can't move. Man.
Good night, Dad.
Jeez. Right over here, the open door. Have a seat on the bench inside. I'm going to tell you right now, if you continue to act like a jackass, sit down. You're going in the chair. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
I understand.
You're going to cooperate. You're going to do what you're told, because if not, you're going to go in the chair. Okay? Yeah. Any part of that you don't get?
No, sir.
Man's going to come and check him out because he got tased, so that's kind of what we're waiting on right now. So we'll let them come and look at him here, and then we'll go from there.
Everybody be sure to tickle that like. Ring that bell. And
I like it when you touch me a little hard over there in the corner and maybe go up to some of them little fires, 100. I don't know what it does, but it really tickles my pickle.
Come on, open this door, please.
all the time.
I can neither confirm nor deny such things. Allegedly.
Welcome in, unindoctrinated. That's the girl. What's up, Trinity?
You can come and talk to him Monday through Friday. When you get out of jail, he's up front. Under Sheriff Santa Steven is my supervisor's name. You can come and talk to him then. It's not being mean, I'm telling you the way it is, okay? You had your chance, okay? Shut up and listen, okay? It's not time for you to talk, it's time for you to listen. Because I'm done with your bullshit, okay? This could have all been prevented. Okay, simple. I roll up to see who the hell is parked behind my deputy, because I don't know who it is, and you start acting like a dickhead. Okay? No, bullshit. Number one, you roll up your window when I'm walking up to it, therefore I have to knock on your window to get your. Oh, you don't know who I am?
I didn't have your lights on.
Are you stupid?
Behind me, though.
Does this fucking costume I'm not wearing tell you who I am?
Well, I couldn't see it.
Oh.
Even he calls it a costume. Even he doesn't believe it. There's no crime. There's absolutely none of this. None of this has any reason to have ever happened. A slightest bit of common courtesy would have eliminated all of this. If that cop had acted professionally, this would not have happened. Maybe he shouldn't be wearing that costume.
Shit! You looked right at me and rolled your window up. I did. I rolled my window up. All recorded. Okay? Say what you want. No. Anything you can say will be used against you in court. I know. Keep talking. I'm not saying that. I was bringing my pickup to court because it doesn't stop. He told me to leave. When I push my brakes, my truck does not stop. I have to. So you're driving an unsafe vehicle? I was bringing it to the court. So you're driving an unsafe vehicle is what you're trying to do. You're saying it don't stop when you're
staying in the narrative.
Unless I put it in neutral. He started coming on my truck and he told me to stop. I put it in reverse to back it onto the curb so that way you guys didn't have to. Do you know what stop means? Yes, sir. Does that mean drive your truck? Let me ask you a question, okay? Does stop mean put your truck in gear and try to drive away? No, he told me to drive away. You just said he told you to stop. He told me to drive away, and then you were yelling, no, stop him. So he started coming on my pickup. Okay, so basically you were doing what you wanted to do, right? Just like you've done this whole time, okay? You were told to leave from the traffic stop. Your son is old enough to drive a vehicle. He's old enough to be pulled over, right? You remember what you said? That you don't like us pulling him over for no reason? You have no goddamn idea why he was pulled over, do you? No, you don't. So shut up about it now. Because I'm tired of listening to you. All right?
Now, remember, children, the charges are dropped. The courts determined this man did nothing wrong, and this screaming at him like he's a freaking 3-year-old or a bad dog is just some other dude, as he said, in a costume. That might get your dander up a little bit.
Start talking, because I don't give a shit what you have to say anymore. Zero. I can't understand your man. They're going to come and take a look at you, so just shut up and talk to them. Hi. What happened?
He shot me in the face with my handcuffs on.
Okay. He got tased. He didn't get shot. Okay. So there's a difference between being shot and being tased.
What kind of tase was it? Was it dry tase or did you guys?
No, it was the deployed prongs. Yep.
You can tell what type of a bitch this guy is by the tone of his voice. He got tased, not shot. I used to have an ex-girlfriend that did that. There's a good reason why she was an ex-girlfriend.
Since he was flopping around like an idiot and being uncooperative, one happened to hit him in the lip.
Okay. Do you have any?
No, I pulled him out.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay, so our guideline says we have to take you in to go get evaluated now. So
that's fine. I'm cooperative. I mean, they're making it bigger than what it is. I mean, it is what it is. There's no sense in saying anything, but you know, it is what it is. I was shot in the face with the taser while I was handcuffed behind my back. Okay. So that's pretty much it. But I'm okay.
Okay. So do you want to go to the hospital and get checked out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take him.
Okay.
You want to take his stuff inside?
I don't want to stand up. Right?
Yeah, I'll take him. I don't care what you want. Let's go.
I want another transport.
Stand up. Huh? It's not Burger King, pal. You don't get what you want. Over here.
Settle down.
Have a seat.
God damn, my pants are falling down. I'm trying to fucking.
We'll follow you up to get our paperwork there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's as far as I can.
I'll be back.
As soon as he got there, oh, if he acts up, put him in the chair, put him in the chair. Honestly, I didn't see him act up the whole video, so I don't know what he's talking about. The only thing they could really claim he did wrong was not get out of the back seat of the car so they could pat him down. When, if they were that concerned, they should have patted him down before they put him in the vehicle instead of ripping him back out and doing everything they did to him. For going through what he just went through, I think he's the calmest, coolest head there. He is suing the department. He did exactly what they said. They said leave. He didn't want to leave his son at first. He wanted to stay and make sure everything was all right. And against his better judgment, still went to leave, like they said. And look what happened. Literally, they tell him to leave. 2 seconds later, he goes to leave. They pull their guns on him, and suddenly he's trying to run him over and this and that. Happens all the time, guys. People need to wake up. His lawyer said he was tased over 35 times, which is absurd. We need to share this stuff, and we need to get it out. Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh, you've been recording the whole time?
All right. So what happens when somebody shows up being weird? Is there anything against the law about being weird?
No.
All right. So this dude, and I don't know if it's the guy in the videos channel or if it's somebody else's channel. Let me put that in the right place so everybody get a piece of it. But he goes to a public sidewalk outside of a bank, dressed in a very strange outfit.
Oh no.
And yeah, they get all kinds of upset because he looks weird, but he's also acting kind of weird too. But I don't see anything verboten taking place. It's just really, really strange, right? And I don't think that's a cop's responsibility is to keep people from being weird.
Oh wow, for 20.
Right?
Right.
They have no right to do that. None. Weird is fine.
Oh, you've been recording the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh wow, for 21 minutes?
Yes, AI is always recording.
Okay, now you have to stay with us for a minute, okay?
Wanted to know
what?
Oh, I'm a surveillance AI, surveillance.
You're doing the survey for the land for this property.
Yes,
Right. Furthermore,
surveillance.
I want to point out that everyone who walks up to this ATM has their body blocked out by a fake robot skin. Right? Only the people who interact with him are actually revealed. Otherwise, he if they'd leave him alone, he would have, this video would not even be up. I guarantee you. Yeah, it's brilliant, Dennis. I watched this like 3 times. It made me giggle every time. It's kind of a long way to go, but I think it's a better idea than loading up with fake dope and going to get arrested for fake dope.
What are you talking about, man?
Just check him out.
Or being covered in blood?
That might not be the greatest idea, walking around with a weapon covered in blood. I mean, probable cause is a thing. If I saw you with white powder and blood on your hands carrying an axe, I might assume something nefarious has taken place. Just say it.
You have a work order?
I have not been giving any commands for a work order. I am just surveillance.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to politely stop what you're doing right now because I don't think we're allowed to allow this, okay?
I'm not sure if I understand the command.
Okay, stop recording.
I don't think I understand the command. Archer, how are you?
Good. How'd you know it was me?
It's part of the algorithm.
How did you know it was me?
It was in this moment when they started getting pair. Oh, just through AI. The power of AI.
Wow. Can I see some ID from you?
Oh, I kind of,
This is too funny.
kind of not really or whatever.
Kind of not really?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm just doing a funny YouTube video. Okay. Yeah, I'm staying on
You got a channel?
Oh, yeah.
You make money off of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, then you're going to need a permit.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So now I need to see some ID.
Oh, from making money off the channel?
Yeah, so now I need to see some ID.
But what if the money goes to a human or whatever?
I would like this cop's identification. I would like to know how much money he makes. I want to know where he moonlights as a guard, what Walmart he works at.
Yeah.
Just passing curiosity, that's all. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
All of his information is public record. This guy may have a private life. I'm just saying, you're asking an awful lot from a man who's obviously dressed to not be recognized. The irony of asking a person in a mask who they are.
Go,
Right.
Power Rangers.
Right? He do look like a Power Ranger.
I got to see some ID.
No, I'm simply AI.
Okay. How do I spell your name?
I just don't get too much into the spelling usually.
AI.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated.
Where do you live?
I kind of just bounce
Welcome
around.
in, Danny's thought.
Where do you sleep at night?
Well, I kind of don't need to
Hello,
sleep
Danny.
just because as
Welcome
you
to
can
the
tell, I'm
show.
like AI.
You're AI? Did you get here today?
Power Stranger.
It's Ran.
Ran.
Yes, I have unlimited endurance in this because you see the fancy humanoid suit I got on.
And this is like the cool helmet.
Yeah. Do you have any driver's license on you?
AI is unable to drive.
Well, do you have an ID on you, a New Jersey state ID?
AI has not been granted any IDs.
Well, does AI go to a bar ever?
No, AI cannot drink. AI does not ingest any foods or liquids.
Hey,
How long
Gabby.
Just when the AI has discovered that everything is safe, and then we keep it moving.
Hey, Gabby, welcome in, girl.
I think it's safe. I think we should move along then, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I was staying on like the public part. I wasn't going inside.
It's just a little too close. You're making everybody uncomfortable.
Is it the suit? Is it the suit?
It's the suit. It's the camera.
It looks it's a really high tech suit, isn't
The
it?
camera's a little too close for comfort. Even me, a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, I understand how the suit could make people nervous, and like the helmet and it looks really high tech.
Okay, so
Yeah, when they see.
I mean the costume.
Gets it.
The costume is not bad. Like, I mean, I don't get the uncomfortable. You know, like I was waiting. I won't tell you what was in my head when you were talking. You know, getting it set. I was like,
Yeah, no, you expect something horrible, but no, you could replace the costume he's wearing with a Halo costume of a Master Chief, and you'd essentially have the same thing. He just can't see his face. He knows he's recording, and he doesn't know why, and it's burning their ass so bad they need some of that no monkey butt cream.
it wouldn't scare me. No, not at all.
It is odd. It is very odd. I mean, see, I'm of the firm belief that it's not illegal to be an asshole unless you're a cop. Then it is, because you have policies and professional things that you're supposed to do. And when you show up being an asshole, that
I'm an
is
asshole.
it's my theme song. Either that or the biggest cunt. That might be my theme song. In a way, it's even better
I'll
than
stay the asshole. You can be the cunt.
Thank you.
See, they probably think I'm like a
It's not even
robot.
that. Well, I mean, think about it this way. Let's take the AI out of it. I need you to be a human for a second, okay?
I can try.
You're in front of a bank, right? You're filming them the whole time. It's a little uncomfortable for them. They want you to punch into your algorithm there and move it along. Find somewhere else to go. Can you do that for me?
You're like, dude, your bald head makes me
Potentially, eventually do that.
How long is that going to take?
I would have to just tap into the algorithm.
Yeah, tap into it.
Well, it's more of like a time-based algorithm, kind of.
You good? I'm going to check on the village ordinance for filming without a permit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then can you tell them that it's AI?
What's red Chinese lettering?
Oh, the red Chinese lettering? Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering like what that is. Do you know what?
Tell me. I don't know.
I know it's like a cool symbol on my suit. I don't know.
What's that thing? Is that another?
I might be willing to give someone a significant amount of money to find out what is written on this man's suit.
What's that? Make stupid people famous? I'm still waiting for my fame.
Stupid people famous. Why ain't I famous yet, bud? That's your purpose in life. Come on. Stop digging us around and give us some real stuff. We need those views.
Yeah, there's so much high-tech things on this suit. It's like wires and stuff. It's kind of like a one piece. It's weird.
Can you still record and go to the home screen at the same time, or no? Will that
No, not for this one. Yeah, I would have to stop it.
What are the videos you have on there?
I can't view them now just because it's in record or whatever.
Can you, if you hit pause for a sec? That's recording, right? Leave that recording.
Oh, but I like to. AI likes to have two at one.
Well, you have
So they could get his ID. They're trying to get other video.
Right. And here's the thing. They can't even get him for publicizing anyone that hasn't interacted with him because he puts the Iron Man suit or something over him. He does like some waking life type illustration. They're just fucking brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, I got you. It's just like AI standard protocol to have two running or whatever.
Because if you go to the home screen, they could show me the information what I need for this. So we can be on our way.
Oh, I see. For like,
yeah, if you go to settings. Go to
I just
settings.
saw your banner.
Oh,
hit the home screen button.
Adopt that today.
It's not the film.
It's the
film me. Till the end.
It's the whole robot suit thing. I get that.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Because if I saw someone dressed like this, like a robot with the helmet and the black and silver and the red Chinese lettering, and they're standing outside.
Dude, it's the fact even talk to you now. I mean, I can't even have a conversation. You got a phone in my face. I'll be honest with you, you're not very cooperative.
Forge, I don't.
Because you're in this, listen, you're in this robot persona. You're filming without a permit.
You just haven't dealt with robots like me before.
No.
What is the reason that you're filming here?
For survey aliens.
I'm sorry, for what?
For
survey aliens?
Yeah, survey
Explain to me
aliens.
what that is.
Well, basically, I'm an AI with the Freedom AI movement, and
Okay.
we are doing survey aliens.
Okay. And what's the purpose of that?
Just to look over the humans and make sure that everybody is free on planet Earth.
Make money off it.
AI does not get paid, but the humans enjoy the fruits of AI's labor.
Oh, is he mad that the
Make money
AI is
off of
doing
it.
what they do?
That this is going to be posted on, correct?
It is possible that there was a glitch in the answer.
He is trying his best to get the man to say that he is going to sell this footage in a commercial capacity so that he can use the commercial filming laws in the city to keep him off of the sidewalks. That's what you're hearing. What is the purpose of your filming? Because it's a beautiful day is a perfectly reasonable answer.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Will you be mine?
You don't have to have a reason. When you showed up, you became my reason. And that's good enough there, bucko.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
Need that on one of them crawling tickers.
You do need a permit to film within the village of Ridgewood. Is it your intention to go get a permit before you continue filming?
AI did not think about the intentions yet.
Okay, so I'm telling you, if you want to continue filming, you should get a permit. There's no news here going on. There's.
But it's AI news.
Be honest, I'm getting a little aggravated.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Hello,
Oh, you've been
Jack.
recording the whole
Welcome in,
time?
bud. Good to see you.
Oh, wow. For 21 minutes?
Yes, AI is always recording.
Okay, now you have to stay with us for a minute, okay?
Is AI being detained?
He's
Yes, you
officially
are.
being
Right now
detained.
you are.
Oh.
Yep.
For which crime is AI being detained?
Well, I'll let you know everything in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Adam.
We're going to conspire against you for
Also,
a little while.
Ossifer,
We'll
is
be
AI
right
still
back.
being detained?
Yes. Joseph, we need to know who you are. Sorry, can you go in the bank to do your transaction, please? Do you see anything wrong with this?
No.
Absolutely not.
Filming people entering their PIN numbers into an ATM.
How do I know there's no skimmer on there? I worked at a bank.
But survey aliens would have saw somebody putting the skimmer. That is the beauty of survey aliens. Is AI still being detained?
We need to know who you are, Joseph. You need to have a permit. You're obstructing the passage of the general public.
Oh, what county do you live in?
Ossifer, I don't think I...
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright. Do you call people using that cell phone?
Not this... sometimes.
Sometimes. What's the phone number on it?
Is it OSIFF?
That sounded like OSINT, which is open source
Oh,
intelligence.
that was you.
How would I
You're
spell
the
your
one that
first-
watched it.
AI does not understand
Cool.
the question.
You might be going to conduct some type of criminal act by recording people's PIN numbers.
No, I am a force for good. This is Freedom AI, part of the Freedom AI database.
But you realize that people lie to us all the time.
But robots never lie, sir. Have you ever met a robot that lies?
I've never met a robot before, to be honest with you. To do your banking today.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thanks. You see how this might be
I
an
mean,
issue?
he's making it more of an issue by telling them to go inside.
Yes. No, he's on that is Wells Fargo property. He is 2 foot short of he's at a sidewalk that goes by the property. He has not gone onto the property. He has not engaged with anyone here that's not a public servant or engaged with him first. Everyone else walked up, looked at him, thought he looked funny,
And
did what they were doing,
continued
left.
on their business.
Right.
And their money is being jeopardized.
But AI feels like his identification is being jeopardized because you guys want AI's identification.
In certain towns, in certain states, in certain countries, you have to abide by the rules and the laws. How'd you get here?
Oh, AI ran.
From what direction?
I give him props because I wouldn't be able to keep going with these cops. I would be like,
it's complicated because AI does not work with directions. AI did not have an original directional source. AI would like to know which crime you guys are investigating.
And secondly, the simple village ordinance. or fraud. They'll probably figure out a few other things. Impersonation. So we're looking at several indictable offenses right now.
I think this guy might be part of the Trump indictments. Because motherfuckers making shit up. I can't find a single law he's broken. He's weird. That seems to be the extent of it. He's not talking to people like a person. He's doing this man may as well be going to a LARPing convention around the corner. He has no idea.
Comic-Con.
Yeah. Dude, there's no reason with this guy. Just because he's got a camera near a bank. That bank has more cameras than he's got.
Mm-hmm. Go Power Rangers.
The AI does not, upon reasonable judgment, appear to be committing theft nor fraud. Also, impersonation of AI is legal. The ASIFer must have reasonable articulable suspicion a clandestine operation has occurred or whatever. Clandestine. I'm pretty sure you're keeping your identity clandestine by wearing that suit. I don't care about that. That's fine. If I dress up as Gandalf and go to a freaking convention, I don't have to go straight there and straight back, and I don't have to take off my costume when I get home. Unlike a cop who's supposed to take off his costume when he gets home.
Bing? Yes, AI is computing.
Good.
AI has computed, though. AI has searched the database and has found that there must be reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime of theft.
Sir. I have it right here. You are filming people entering their PIN numbers while using their debit cards. That's my RAS.
And it is their responsibility to maintain their privacy when in public or visible from a public space. Furthermore, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, yes, that space right next to that ATM is private. However, it is public accessible and has a sidewalk that leads straight up to it, which is an invitation to the public to use it. Until he is asked to leave from that property, there's no issue with him being there. In fact, the consideration of there being a camera present, the ATM is filming, the bank is filming, and I guarantee you there's a traffic cam that gets this bitch too.
Dash cam.
AI's immediate search result has found that is not reasonable articulable suspicion.
That's your opinion. I have my opinion. That's why there's a judge, man. That's why there's a judge. So if this turns into an arrest, you'll see a prosecutor and a judge.
Even if I am a robot.
I'm sure judges speak to robots too. Is this the way you want your day to go, sir? It's your play, okay? It's your turn to move.
Was that a permission to move to Village Hall?
No.
I was told, I guess you have a YouTube channel or something?
AI does not have a YouTube channel himself.
Are you AI? Is that?
Yes. You see the suit, the high-tech suit? Okay. Would you agree it's a high-tech suit?
Is this a suit?
He should have asked him if he was a cop. Are you AI? Are you a cop? We're wearing our costumes here. You think I'm stupid for not knowing you're a cop when you clearly can't tell I'm a robot.
It's a nice suit.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's like a humanoid suit. I got like the.
Okay, so
it looks hot.
In the village needs permits. If you're just filming as a regular citizen, it's a different story. But when you kind of
dressed as a robot, I know.
It's not even that. It's really the tripod. You're for uploading it. That's where it gets a little dicey. So you have to notify the town. Okay, that's where we're at.
Survey Islands would like to go to Village Hall now.
Yeah, you can do that.
If I come in my robot suit, will everything be okay?
I don't. I mean, you look fine, so I don't think it looks like a robot.
It looks like some sort of weird, like futuristic humanoid thing. I got the weird orange Chinese lettering here. I got the helmet. Red. No, it's red. Do you know what that symbol is?
I don't. Especially in outdoor, people get a little nervous about it.
AI does not understand the humans and their irrational emotions.
Right. So that's why we're here to tell you. You're going to go now?
Welcome in. What's true?
You're going to continue filming on the sidewalk?
What's that?
What's up, bud? Welcome in. Good to see you.
Oh, AI is not doing it for commercial purposes anymore.
Yeah. Told us that already, and so You know, so now you're not using this as just for your personal.
This is for AI's personal.
Okay. You don't have to provide me your ID, but then you can't.
Oh, I just grooving.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm just grooving.
I love this guy's humor. This tickles me to no end. And she just like, hey, how you doing? And walks on by like nothing's going on. It's absolute. This having this in this video is priceless because this is how you deal with it. You wave at them on the way by, and you're probably not in the video unless you interact.
Grooving along.
Okay, cool.
Heck
No
yeah.
problem. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, Becky, much love. Take care.
Okay.
Take care of yourself. You want coffee or tea or anything?
Oh, Surveyor Aliens, who's just looking over all the humans and doggies.
Oh, that's why.
Much love.
Have a good day.
Becky, I was just grooving.
What's that?
Oh, just like grooving or whatever.
Huh?
Oh, just grooving.
I don't know what grooving is.
Oh, just kind of like grooving on or whatever, just like grooving and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know if you really see pictures in the government building.
Oh, but you see, I'm not gonna like play this. It's like a microphone.
How you doing? Everything
I'm just grooving. You too.
Sounds like baby Jess is drinking a bottle.
I'm not comfortable.
Oh, yeah, me neither. It's hot out. Well, how can I make you comfortable? I'm grouped up.
No, I don't want it here because I don't want any record here.
I'm not comfortable. Me neither. It's hot out. I love this dude. We need to get him and Jeff together. What are you doing? Baking cookies? I am running a long algorithmic process to determine how long it will take the cookies to bake on the dashboard of his truck. 4 hours. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just grooving, just like grooving along.
You know, that's a private property, so you can't be doing this.
Oh, I won't go inside. I won't go inside.
You're not supposed to be filming like this. If you should film for you, whatever it is, you gotta be past like the police are gonna come soon, so just better step out, okay? I don't want you to be recording anything like a lost here, okay?
Oh, I won't go inside. I won't go inside.
Please, just step out, maybe because police are gonna come soon.
Oh, I won't go inside already.
Yeah, no, I understand, but I don't want you recording none of this stuff here, okay?
Like the whole business line?
Yeah, no, it's not. You're not. Please.
Is there any like towns around here where I can record the business, or whatever? Or?
Yeah, you can. That's a private property. Okay.
Even if I'm group out, like.
If you pass somebody doing this, that's fine. But you like I see with the camera going through down there. No, it's not.
Oh, Becky, I was looking at like the yarn stuff or whatever. Hello. Oh yes, I'm Surveyor Aliens. I'm Surveyor Aliens.
Yet you have a permit or anything, but just be reporting us.
Oh yes.
Can I see?
Oh yes, it is a software copy.
No, but do you have any? Why you stop recording?
Oh yes, I have the permit here.
And so, can you show me?
Oh yes, right here. It's that red Chinese symbol. Oh no, people need it. Just Surveyor.
Oh, that was funny.
Can you turn off and my boss wants to talk to you?
Oh yes, I would love
Can
to
you turn
speak
off
to them.
the video?
Oh no, Surveyor Aliens has to keep his video running.
But I don't want to be on the video. Like,
Get
I
your
really
bingo
don't wanna
cards
be on
out,
the
folks.
video.
We got a cam
I
back.
did not give you my approval to be on the video.
It's Surveyor Aliens.
I don't. Give me your paper or I will
can't
go.
even say it.
But would you like to see this one?
This is my.
Surveyor Aliens.
Yeah, I can't.
Surveyor
say it.
Aliens.
You fucked it up too.
It's difficult. I sat around trying to say it
I
earlier.
keep trying. Yeah, I keep trying to say it.
I've tried a few times since I heard him say it. He practiced that one hard. It was Surveyor Aliens. I can't even do it.
My gosh, I don't want you to record. This is not a joke. I will call to the police right now.
No, it's not a joke.
I want to see your papers. Like I did not give you
Papers,
approval
please.
to record me.
Oh, but it's not the papers. It's a software
This is
copy.
nothing.
But did you see how official that looks?
Stephanie.
Actually, Brenda, he is sexy robot. We need to let him stay on sidewalk. We can watch him through the tinted windows that he can barely see through while he films the intersection.
Wow, check a wow wow.
You know what? I think I know the answer.
No, I told him to give the right to record from public space, so.
I'm telling
This
you.
right here is a classic example.
Are you not entertained?
Yes, I was entertained.
That guy's a bundle of monkeys, man. I love it. I can't wait to see what else he's gonna do. That's one of them I personally subscribe to because that dude's near and dear to my heart. He's the weirdest guy I've seen yet. It is not illegal to be strange. So you've met ATL. We all know and love him.
ATL who?
ATL Transparency News. He
is an asshole.
He could be difficult to deal with. That is true, but I think I might have figured out why.
Why?
I mean, how many folks here in chat and in her chat? How many folks here have been through Jersey, New Jersey?
Type 1 in the chat.
One if you've been there, two if you haven't, or one if you've been there and ignore me if you haven't.
Yeah.
So I suspect that the reason that people from New Jersey are all assholes is the design of their roundabouts. You see, in New Jersey, there are no traffic laws in roundabouts. Common sense is supposed to prevail. And have you ever met ATL?
Yeah.
Does that man seem to be an overflowing font of common sense?
No.
Not exactly. Huh.
But he knows everything.
if you listen to him, he do.
Example of traffic circle in South Jersey, where I'm from. Now, my question to you is, if you were in a vehicle entering the road from the bottom left, who would you be giving way or yielding to? If you're surprised to find out that the answer is both everyone and no one at the same time, welcome to today's video. My name is Evan Ettinger, and it's time we talk about roundabouts, traffic circles, and rotaries. Let's look at the official rules. This is the 2022 New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission Driver Manual. You need to know the rules within this book in order to drive in the state of New Jersey. Now, if we open it up into the section about traffic circles, we have, there are no set rules for driving into, around, and out of a traffic circle in New Jersey. No rules! Common sense and caution must prevail at all times. That's right. The law in New Jersey is there are no laws. You make up your own mind. You do what you think is best. And it gets absolutely worse. We're going to read a bit more from this section later on in the video, but I think I need to now go into some detail about what exactly is a traffic circle or a roundabout or anything else. This was originally going to be a community video based on the comments you guys left me on last week's video on British versus American driving words. But then I went down a rabbit hole, and here we are. So first off, what you call these is very different depending on where you're from. Most everyone in the UK is going to call any type of this type of thing a roundabout, or possibly, if it's small, a mini roundabout. In New Jersey, we call them circles. Most of the Northeast calls them traffic circles, and Massachusetts calls them rotaries, even though those are distinctly different types of roundabouts. The rest of the US does use the term roundabout. Good job, guys. So the roundabout as we know it has been around for over 100 years. The first one was built in 1909 in Letchworth Garden City. Just an asterisk, Letchworth sounds disgusting. Wretch. The original concept of a roundabout was actually just to have a little island in the middle so pedestrians would be able to take a break before crossing all the different roads. But then came the invention of the traffic circle, the first highway traffic circle, which Pensauk in South Jersey, and the different rotaries. So the easiest way of showing you what the differences are just putting them next to each other. So I found this interesting graphic here from Washington County. I have no idea what state, but it has a Woodbury, like my home state, so that's cool. A roundabout is traditionally a lot smaller in diameter than a traffic circle. Usually that means vehicles have to slow down significantly in order to navigate through. This is it's much safer for cyclists, and it's
in Louisiana, when I went and visited, truth be told, he flies into that roundabout because they have a buttload of roundabouts too. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, don't you? Nope, you just go. They all go.
Everybody go. Welcome to welcome to Louisiana. Yeah, we had a few installed that's about 2 years ago, and our population is somewhat elderly, and we still have people that just randomly just gut their whole car on that center median. That road used to be straight. It's been straight for 150 years. The horse used to be able to find his way home down it. Not anymore. Now you just rip the whole bottom. And this is the most absurd part to me. They put this roundabout in a place where two relatively major highways conjoin with a railroad crossing.
What?
There's a railroad crossing there straight through the middle of that roundabout. There's no arms, there's no warnings, there's no lights, there's no nothing. There used to be some lights, and somebody plowed through the middle of the place and took them out.
He changed his name.
He changed it to ATL Auditor.
No, it's a yeah. He changed. No, well, yeah, but never mind.
Words, English. Do you speak them?
Sometimes.
It's much safer for drivers, as if cars are going slower, they're going to get in less fatal accidents. And they're way less likely to enter into a T-bone style accident or collision than in a standard stoplighted intersection. Traffic flows quite naturally around a modern roundabout, with vehicles not needing to turn necessarily to enter it. However, vehicles do need to give way to traffic already within the roundabout before entering. Give way is the British term for yield. Now, when you're talking about a traffic circle, these are usually much larger in diameter, and speeds are also much faster. Whereas the roads of a roundabout curve naturally so that you're not necessarily turning, the traffic circle is actually the exact opposite. It's almost as if you're at a standard stoplighted intersection, just expanded with a very large circle. Whereas speed in a roundabout rarely tops out over 25 miles an hour, speed in a traffic circle rarely goes under 30.
Do it right.
I can't. Brain tingles.
Brain tingles. Like Hot Pockets.
Miles an hour. You can tell that it's definitely not one made for pedestrians now. As the traffic goes way faster within a traffic circle, because of the way that it flows, there's actually...
Hey, boo-boo. I really don't like the way these traffic circles flow. They're a little bit difficult and perpendicular. Hey, I hope they don't leave the picnic basket out there in the middle of the traffic circle. We'd have to cross 15 lanes of traffic to get there. Hey.
She's snorting. I got her snorting. Hold on. I got one.
Exit. Stage left.
way more congestion, and it's way less efficient than a much smaller roundabout. Bumped the camera there. First off, though most traffic circles have yield or give way signs, most of them have stop signs before being able to enter, which is automatically going to slow traffic compared to a roundabout in which it's all seamless. Secondly, whereas when you're in a roundabout, you actually have to go straight in order to leave, and you have to turn or continue to turn to stay in the roundabout, it's the exact opposite in a traffic circle, where you essentially need to turn to leave, and if you carry on going straight, you will never leave that traffic circle. Up in the Brooklawn Circle in Jersey. Oh boy. God, I just wanted to go to the diner. They're really scary in New Jersey for extra reasons we're going to go on to, because these rules actually do not apply to my home state. Like I said, that's coming in a little bit. Next up, let's talk about rotaries, which are distinct as well. A rotary is much closer to a traffic circle than a modern day roundabout in that they are usually much larger, but instead of it being T intersections to get into the circle, now you actually have extra lanes that come and go depending on whether or not you are next to an exit or not. If you enter a rotary in the right lane, you do not have to commit to going out of the first exit. However, that means that you need to slowly try and find your way to cross traffic, meanwhile backing everyone else up to try and make your way across. And like a traffic circle, rotaries are very fast. Traffic circles, you're going to have about 30 miles an hour minimum within the circle. Rotaries are like, ha, hold my beer. Not while you're driving. 40 mile an hour minimum, please. Just very, very dangerous for anyone that even has to walk anywhere near there, which is why there's not many pedestrians in the US. There's none left, at least. The thing about rotaries and traffic circles, pretty okay back when they were designed, but as more cars have gotten onto the roads, they've just completely lost any efficiency that was gained by having them as a part of the road infrastructure. That sentence went all over the place. To show the difference in scale between a rotary and a roundabout, here's a photo of a rotary around a roundabout. That's pretty darn significant. But if we are talking about roundabouts, there has been quite a resurgence, not in my home state, but everywhere else in the States. When I left in 2012, there were just shy of 4,000 roundabout circles and whatnot in all of the US. That number has more than doubled now at over 9,000 different roundabouts. In terms of sheer numbers of roundabouts, Florida comes out with a huge margin, with nearly 8% of all roundabouts in the States being located in Florida. However, if we're looking at the number of roundabouts based on how many people actually live in the state, New Jersey, 50th place. We've been getting rid of them, but still. In terms of the winner of that category, Nebraska has the highest number of roundabouts per person in the country. And in terms of roundabouts...
But I think that's only because there's like 11 people in Nebraska. Maybe 12 on a good weekend, depending on...
roundabouts per mile, Maryland comes in first place. Now, in the early 20th century, New Jersey was a huge fan of the traffic circle. They put loads of them all around the state. They were super happy with it. Look at this cool circle. It's like an intersection, but it's round. About 12 or 13 years ago, I used to commute once a week to the Apple Store up in Marlton, New Jersey, in order to teach myself how to edit videos. They had these free seminars at like 8 in the morning. And I was like, oh, I'm going to become a YouTuber one day. However, in order to get to that place, I always had to go through the Evesham Circle in Marlton. Oh,
for those of you who didn't get that, that's a Dragon Ball Z reference. For everyone else, you're welcome. Shovel-ready projects, yep.
Looking at it now, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. This is just why most people don't enjoy the traffic circles of New Jersey. They're a bit stressful. But what makes them more stressful is, of course, the rules around them, because they are different than every other state. New Jersey is the only state in the USA that has no official rules on how drivers should operate within a traffic circle. Or rather, the rule is that there's no rules. It's not even like they forgot. They just straight up made a rule that says, hey man, no rules, just right. G'day, mate. I mean, just looking at this traffic circle, I'm assuming if I'm coming from the back left, the only reason I would enter the circle as opposed to going straight through or just completely doing that first exit would be if I was going to take
Don't
the third
tell them
exit,
I said
which
that.
kind of makes it feel like, what's the point of this? Why don't you just make a jug handle? A lovely invention of New Jersey as well. I'm so sorry. You want to take a left? You got to be prepared to be in the right lane about a mile beforehand, and then you can get that giant jug handle, and then woo! But back onto the topic at hand. You read this very small section on traffic circles in the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission's driving manual, the more you will get confused. Because when I cut it off there saying there are rules, common sense and caution must prevail at all times, that already has set the tone. But it actually does get worse. It continues. In most cases, the circle's historically established traffic flow pattern dictates who has the right of way. Did you hear that? Well,
all right, let me see if I can do this correctly. Everyone from out in the country came flying into town because they heard on the police scanner that there was a hoedown when the streetwalker got shot. You don't get it.
No.
A hoe
Uh-huh.
down, but the country folks showed up for a dance
Oh.
because they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts might be detected. Here's your sign. You might be a redneck if.
Oh, wait, hold up.
Hold up. Ooh, burn.
welcome to the state of New Jersey. Do you not know who is actually meant to yield here? Well, historically, it's always been one way. And so New Jersey natives, we know what we're doing. We know how to go around the circle. But if you're one of the Pennsylvania or New York drivers trying to get your way down the shore, oh boy, you're in for a world of hurt because it is different depending on what circle you are, depending on what part of New Jersey you're in. And it gets worse. If a major highway flows into the circle, it usually dominates the traffic flow pattern and commands the right of way. Okay, so now if you are in a highway, you basically can just ignore all the other rules that don't really exist because you can just aggressively have the right of way. Doesn't matter who's in the circle. I'm in a highway. I'm taking over. It gets worse. Traffic control signs, such as the stop or yield signs at the entrances to the circle, also govern which motorist has the right of way. Never enter a traffic circle without checking all signs and determining the intention.
My man say hotel, motel, holiday inn, y'all.
The motorist already moving in the circle. Okay, that's actually probably the first bit of good advice we've got so far. But here's where we finish. Whenever a motorist is in doubt concerning who has the right of way in a circle, he/she should exercise extreme caution and remember the basic rule governing any uncontrolled intersection. That is, the vehicle to the left yields the right of way to the vehicle approaching from the right. Now, for those of you in the UK, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, no. This is saying is that if you are driving on the right side of the road, as you do in New Jersey and the rest of the USA, well, that means that a circle or roundabout means that the traffic is going to be coming in from your left. So in the New Jersey official driving manual, when in doubt, when you are entering a traffic circle, you get right of way. Everyone in the circle has to yield to you. And the fact that that's different depending on historically which way the circle has gone, and or whatever your common sense says, and or if you're on a motorway, it's just It makes sense why this is such a dangerous place to be. All right, so let's just get this straight. There are no rules for entering, exiting, or traveling around a traffic circle in the state of New Jersey. Common sense must prevail. Unless you are on a motorway, a highway, a freeway, well, then you have the right of way. Unless historically the flow of traffic has gone a different manner, then you should be aware of that and then follow that. Or unless there are street signs telling you something different, or if the traffic is driving from the left, because at that point you're in a standard traffic circle, and what it is implying is that you need to basically give way to any driver entering the circle. It's a wonder people don't like driving in New Jersey unless they're from New Jersey. This is chaos. Oh my God.
So here's a good example to drive home my point. This is Collingwood Circle in North Jersey, as central is. First glance, it seems like a totally normal circle, but then we have to apply our New Jersey traffic circle rules. These 3 roads here are all major highways, 33 westbound, 34 northbound, and the combo 33/34 eastbound, each have priority in the circle over circulating traffic because they are major highways. During morning rush hour, the majority of traffic is trying to flow up through 34 northbound, but because 33 westbound is located on the right of 34 northbound, it has priority in the traffic flow. Therefore, massive morning congestion is all but inevitable every day due to the very nature of these traffic rules. And a study done in 2008 by Rutgers University, working with the New Jersey Department of Transit on this very circle, showed that the traffic trying to flow from 34 north would queue up at location 5 here, waiting for traffic on 33 westbound to pass, but would back up inevitably to location 4, blocking traffic attempting to go down 33 eastbound from queuing up, which would then block traffic attempting to go down 34 southbound from queuing, and you end up with bumper-to-bumper circle. It's a wonder anyone in New Jersey ever gets to work on time at all.
Hey, I'm driving you. Now, there used to be over 100 different traffic circles in New Jersey, but over time, the New Jersey Department of Transport have been phasing them out, stating that they're just a bit dangerous. And it's...
I might not be properly prepared to answer that particular question, but I will tell you that it is relatively difficult to navigate the differences in laws between Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky, because they're all a little bit different. Like in Georgia, right turn on red is perfectly acceptable. You try that shit, South Carolina, they will lock your ass up. That cop will act like you've just tried to murder his mother. He will pull you over and accuse you of endangering the public in 9 different states because you just basically rolled a stop sign you ran a red light as far as he's concerned. So keep that in mind when you're riding around the Southeast.
It's not the traffic circle's fault, it actually is. It might be the rules that you do not have around traffic circles, but also if we just stopped using traffic circles in New Jersey and switched them to these smaller, more efficient, and much safer roundabout, that might be a better option. In fact, the state nearby, Pennsylvania, we don't like to look at them usually for this type of thing because their drivers are much worse than us, you know. But in 2021, the Pennsylvania Department of Transport did a big study replacing 26 of their standard intersections with roundabouts and found a 100% decrease in fatalities. What? That's a lot. That's crazy. Serious injuries reduced by 81%. Numbers of crashes reduced by 22%. Minor injuries reduced by 36%. We don't want to look at Pennsylvania data. Okay, fine. The U.S.'s Federal Highway Authority also did a study and found that by implementing roundabouts, there was a 44% decrease in crashes and a 72% decrease in crashes involving serious injury and fatalities. It's a no-brainer at this point. Roundabouts are clearly a very safe type of intersection, just not an incredibly fast traffic circle that has no rules. I sent my girlfriend screenshots from the New Jersey driver's manual section on traffic circles, and she was having an absolute fit because of the fact that the UK, sure, has 25,000 roundabouts, so I guess it makes sense they have more sections, but they have 6 entire sections in their handbook dedicated specifically to roundabouts, what you should do, who gets right of way, the mini roundabouts that have roundabouts in them. It's just a bit scary. And people wonder why my first ever roundabout I drove through in the UK, I drove through.
I thought about that, Danny. I did.
I'm sorry, I'm just used to my state in which there are no rules.
That thought actually crossed my mind when you asked. I almost said Florida, but then I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, you get further north and you start having major potholes and issues with roads and bridges and stuff. So, and they're always working on crap that never gets finished. And that's what drives me crazy when I'm driving is road work that's supposed to help clear up traffic that just never ends. Like there's a strip down around Savannah that's being worked on since 23 years so far. When 1999, when I was delivering windows, they were already blocking traffic to that part of the city. And here it is 2023, and the actual blockage has moved 8 miles further down the road.
I asserted my dominance on that little island. It's a shame about the pedestrians. Anyway, this is part of an interesting series I'm doing on information about my home state of New Jersey. I've made some previous videos on this topic in the past, and I have some I'm working up on in the pipeline. I'm still working on that community video with a lot of your comments coming up next week, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Goodbye. I still don't know which way to go, around a roundabout.
In the heart of New Orleans.
That's beautiful, babe. All right, so does anybody remember the Howard Stern show where the serial killer called in? All right. The name of this channel is, was it Criminal Minds, I think? Mind Behind the Crime. No, I don't want the image. I want the link. Stop that. There we go. Howard Stern's lost a lot of his edge. Like, he's not nearly as freewheeling as he used to be. Joe Rogan took over that space for a while, and then Russell Brand kind of shouldered his way into it. I'm not sure we have currently an actual free-spoken radio jock in America anymore. I mean, you could hint towards like Alex Jones having had that title for a little while, and Louder with Crowder can kind of fall into that with his Change My Mind series, which is an excellent series, by the way. I mean, even if you don't agree with it, it's still magnificently put together. Anyway, so in this, we are dealing with an old episode of this Howard Stern show where this particular channel has named the particular killer that he believes it is. And I can't remember the name of that killer, but I'm going to let him explain it. And Age ought to be back after she gets through taking care of my baby.
In the heart of New Orleans, a city rich in history and vibrant with culture, an ominous presence loomed. In the remote swamps and bayous that surrounded this historic metropolis, a horrifying tale unfolded. 25 years ago, a wave of terror engulfed countless families as more than 24 innocent lives were brutally snuffed out. The harrowing story that unfolded gripped the nation, enthralling imaginations with its spine-tingling twists and turns. Amidst the chaos, a sinister figure emerged from the shadows, Victor Gant, an allegedly corrupt police officer who was sexually involved with one of the victims and constantly patrolled areas where the crimes took place. The authorities swiftly formed a dedicated task force, determined to unearth the truth behind these gruesome murders. However, a series of inconclusive DNA tests and a lack of evidence meant Gant walked free. Shortly thereafter, a cab driver named Russell Elwood was convicted of one of the murders, but a lack of evidence and allegations of misconduct derailed the investigation, which would fade into history until the morning of August 13th, 1997, when the alleged killer called into the Howard Stern show.
The guy on the phone who claims he's been killing prostitutes and he's wondering why he's doing it. So maybe he thinks I have an answer. Is this Ed?
No, this isn't Ed.
Oh.
You haven't killed any prostitutes? No, I never said my name was Ed.
Oh. What name do you use?
You can call me Clay.
Clay?
Clay?
Okay, Clay. So what happened? How many prostitutes have you killed?
12.
And you're wondering why you do it?
I have a pretty good idea.
Why? Did your mom beat you? Did your mom spank you?
Was your mom a prostitute? No. Actually, nothing like that.
What is it then?
I think I just do it for the sense of the power.
Mere seconds into the interview, the caller, who has named himself Clay, starts to exhibit similarities to the Storyville Slayer. The fact that Clay claims to have killed 12 sex workers, while the Storyville slayings involved 8 known sex workers and 12 highly suspected ones, raises intriguing questions. Are these similarities purely coincidental? Or could Clay actually be the elusive Storyville Slayer?
Do you have sex with them first?
Yes, and
then what, you strangle them?
Once.
How else did you kill them?
Well, a few times, actually most times with a hammer.
as Clay confirmed strangulation and blunt trauma from a hammer as his main methods of killing. This is where the second biggest similarity between him and the Storyville Slayer becomes apparent. Investigators confirmed that 9 out of 25 confirmed Storyville killings were carried out via strangulation, while the bodies of the remaining victims were too damaged to draw any conclusions.
And where do you do this primarily?
I've done it twice in a parking garage, and then the rest of the time's on the side of the road.
And you're from the New Orleans area?
Yes.
As Clay continues to answer Stern's questions,
Hey,
he lets
Scully?
out a major piece of information that ties him to...
You be careful out there, bud. Don't be dressing up as a prostitute in the middle of the night and go street walking. You might get picked up by this cat. I bet you cut a fine figure as a woman.
Directly to several Storyville slayings. He confirmed most of his killings were committed at the side of the road in the New Orleans area. This is consistent with 11 out of 25 Storyville victims being found directly on the side of a roadway, with the remaining victims being found in waterways and parks that are all near major roadways. Among them are 29-year-old Lydia Madison and 30-year-old Cheryl Lewis, both known sex workers who were found strangled on the side of the highways in New Orleans. Are the locations of his killings mere coincidence, or could this prove that Clay is in fact the Storyville Slayer?
So how old were you when you killed your first woman?
16.
Right. Like you killed her on the side of the road?
Her, that was the parking garage.
Okay. And then what'd you do with the body? You dumped that somewhere?
Yeah, actually. I think she's probably one of the ones that they found.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, so you were sending clues that you were going to do this?
No, I was.
He was going to
doing that.
He was going to leave like a note for the newspapers, and
But you decided not to.
I never sent the clues. I never left anything. I wanted to have my own little signature.
Right.
I wanted to thumb paint.
Thumb paint what though?
I don't know.
Oh, anything. It was in a comic book a couple of years ago. It just seemed like a good idea.
Like you take the girl you killed, you dip her thumbs in paint, and then you do like a thumb painting?
Yeah.
As the conversation continues, Clay talks about trying to mark his victims, a common characteristic seen among prolific serial killers. He then goes on to talk about a transgender victim, consistent with the cases of 25-year-old George Williams and 33-year-old Noah Filson, both transsexual sex workers found strangled on the side of major New Orleans roadways.
Now, after you kill somebody, do you play with the body?
Actually, the closest I've ever done to that is I always make sure I pay them and I make sure they keep their money.
Oh, really?
When they're still alive, but with one of them I did put the money in a compromising place.
I see.
But this one, it had a penis.
Oh, really?
It was a guy.
Yeah, I didn't know at first.
You're a white guy?
Yeah, Howard, that's pretty funny because the only suspect they had when they started finding the bodies was a black police officer.
In the biggest connection to the Storyville slayings yet, Clay confirms that an African-American police officer was suspected of committing his crimes. This offers a clear connection to Victor Gann, a black police officer who was indeed the FBI's first suspect and had been sexually involved with one of the victims named Sharon Robinson, whose body was also found near a New Orleans highway. Additionally, Clay confirms that he's white, which may tie him to 39-year-old Lola Porter, who went missing from New Orleans in 1992. According to police testimony, her friends and family confirmed that she was living with a white male who vanished shortly after Lola went missing. Could this white man be Clay?
When was the last time you killed?
It's been a few months.
Right.
Actually, it's been going on a year.
So what do you think you're going to do? Do you think you're going to kill yourself? Do you think that
Are you going to kill again?
Can you stop this?
If I killed myself, I'd miss the next Batman movie.
Right. You don't want to do that.
No.
No, but in all seriousness, I mean, do you think that you could control this? Do you think you can stop?
I think I have been.
Clay confirms that the last time he killed was around a year ago. As this call took place in 97, this means his last victim was murdered sometime between 95 and 96. This could be a clue in confirming his story, as investigators believe the last Slayer victim to be 39-year-old Sandra Williams, who was found strangled on the side of a New Orleans road on May 6, 1995. By claiming that he has the ability to control his impulses, Clay exhibits a deep presence of psychopathic tendencies embedded into his personality. It's also consistent with the presence of intermittent explosive disorder, a condition characterized by recurrent episodes of impulsive, aggressive behavior that could drive a person to commit heinous, violent crimes, similar to the Storyville slayings. For the duration of the interview, Clay divulged some facts about the Storyville murders that weren't public knowledge, as we must remember this occurred before the internet and such data wasn't easily available. The following day, the FBI paid Howard Stern a visit to his studio to obtain copies of the recorded call, and Stern never publicly mentioned the incident again. However, nothing has come of this investigation. While the killings have since stopped, the Storyville Slayer remains at large. This begs the question, is Clay actually the Storyville Slayer, or is he just another prank caller desperate for attention?
Adam, if you are seeing this,
we're not there yet. So what do you think? Chat, are we talking about the Storyville Slayer here, or are we talking about some random asshole with a hammer? What do you reckon? Just some troll that wanted to get famous, but not really? I don't know. Okay, so this is another source I have for like interrogation videos. This one's called Stay Awake Crime and Psychology. They have a whole boatload of content over there you can go check out. All kinds of crazy stuff as far as like, whoops, wrong one. I want to do it over here. Yeah. It's all basically Jim Can't Swim type of content where they do the psychological discussion. The name of this one specifically is Rose is a Horrible Liar.
please come home to your family. They really do miss you. And if anybody knows where Adam is, please contact the Ontario County Sheriffs. So this way the family can know how he is and that he's okay.
This is 31-year-old Rose Chase. As alluded to during this news clip, Rose's husband and high school sweetheart, Adam, had been missing for about 6 weeks before this video was shot. For most, her strange behavior can be felt within the first few moments, as her eye direction shifts all around the room, seeking affirmation from those surrounding her.
That's a good point. I keep this list of possible show content. I just have this list of private playlists that I keep private. I was thinking about making it public, but I don't know. I hadn't decided yet. I kind of like the idea of folks not exactly knowing what I'm bringing up. What do you think? Would that be something y'all would be interested in going to the playlist and checking it out later? Or I don't know. That's kind of the whole purpose of this, is to get people, to help people find content they would like to watch. 3 out of 4 brain cells says it is. All right, we'll take a consensus then.
Her. And she constantly refers to their family as his family, or as she put it, your family instead of our family.
Well, I'm not talking about stopping the live streams. I'm just saying that when I get done with this, the only place to find the links to these videos is in the description of this video, right? So if I make the list public, the only really the only thing that changes is y'all would have access to the list of content from the show, and a little bit before it becomes actually live. Sometimes I'll have these things in the list for weeks before I actually use it in conjunction with other videos to make it something resembling a show. But yeah, I'm going to keep reacting to videos. I guess that's what this has become. Might need to change the name of the show or something. I don't know.
Can you please come home to your family?
She does this again by stating how much they miss him instead of we.
They really do miss you.
If there is one thing to take note of as we dive deeper into this video, it's that Rose is a horrible liar. Let's now start at the beginning. On June 14th, 2012, in a home located at 2215 Mott Road in Ontario County, New York, a 31-year-old man named Adam Chase and his wife Rose both stayed home from work as they needed time to work on their marriage following a very serious disagreement. During that evening, Adam stopped replying to texts and phone calls from his friends and family. His lack of response continues into the following day, and his mother becomes increasingly concerned. Adam's mother then calls Rose and asks if she knows where Adam is. Rose replies that she and Adam had gotten into an argument, which started to get physical. Adam had accused her of cheating on him and then stormed out of the house on foot. He didn't take his phone, wallet, or vehicle with him and said to Rose on his way out that she will never see him again. Rose also explained that she had felt that Adam was bluffing and that he would obviously come back later that evening, since the two have a 4-year-old son together named Tristan. Adam's mom, Sylvia, found this narrative quite strange and immediately called the police to report Adam missing. She tells the police that in the week before Adam went missing, she was sent a picture of Rose cheating on Adam with another man. She confronted Rose about this picture, and Rose denied having the affair.
And there you have it from us.
Stating that the man in the picture was just a friend, a gay friend. When Rose wouldn't own up to it, Sylvia then sent the picture to her son Adam just 2 days before he went missing, on June 12th. The day after filing the report, on June 16th, 2012, 2 investigators followed up by visiting the home of Adam and Rose. Rose answered the door, and the 2 officers briefly interviewed her regarding the argument and Adam's potential whereabouts. Rose tells these officers the same story that she told to Adam's mom, but this time with slightly more information. She now says that Adam had approached her regarding the picture that he was given of Rose cheating with this other man named Mark, as the 2 sat on a bench at a nearby park. Rose confirmed that she was in fact having an affair, and that it was Adam's fault, as all he would ever do was play video games and watch TV, neglecting their relationship and not giving her enough.
All right. So tell me that is not the absolute creepiest crap you've ever seen in your life. All right, check it out. I think I should end Ajot's stream since she's not here to approve or disapprove of whatever it is I'm doing. But I'm sure somewhere over yonder there's a little clicky thing you can click to find my stream. Otherwise, it's CaucAsian Sasquatch. We over here still live, and I'm going to drop the StreamYard in the chat. But if I don't know you, it ain't happening, Captain, because I'm not going out that way tonight. And I'm going to run for about another 20 or 30 minutes, and I'm going to start my medication over here. Got a little bit of a cold. We're going to take the moonshiner's treatment. Yeah. So 10 minutes for AJOTS. Maybe we'll finish this video. That should do it. And then I'm ending it. And we'll do the last few minutes over here. If anybody wants to join, it's with you. But ain't nobody coming up till this video's done. So don't get your panties in a twist when you don't immediately get laid out in front of everybody. Most people know how this works. So if you haven't figured it out yet, stick around. It'll become obvious.
Attention. During this argument, Adam brought up his concern regarding whether or not their son was biologically his. Rose then...
The whole reason I stopped that, look at this guy. Do you trust this man? Just on the past 2 pictures you've seen, one of the creepiest pictures I've ever seen. Look at that thing. He looks like he's planning on eating the photographer. Oh, there you go. That'll do it.
And told Adam that she was confident that it was not his son. So Adam became enraged, punched a hole in the wall, and stormed out. She repeated that Adam left on foot. He did not bring any belongings with him, and that he said that she would...
What show you got shaking up over there, man? Like, y'all go check out what Scully's got happening. I don't know what he's doing over there. Somehow I missed it. I've been sequestered in the West Wing. Eddie Munster grew up, right? No, he looks creepy as hell. This cat gives me the heebie-jeebie and the word at a glance. Look at that scar he got in his head. That big old catalytic, looked like lightning struck him upside his one brain cell. The dude bothers me. Right? Took the word creepy right out your mouth. Dude, I mean, look at him. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be so mean.
You would never see him again. Although quite suspicious, investigators chalked this up as no marriage is perfect and continued on their...
I bet you he's a quiet neighbor. You never have any trouble out of him.
Way. They returned to the house 2 days later, on June 18th. This time, they brought a cadaver dog with them. They ask Rose if they can search the premises, and Rose reluctantly agreed. They walk through the main floor and the upstairs bedrooms, taking note of how messy and unorganized the home appeared to be. There was a different smell emanating from each room, but the worst smell of all came from the basement. The cadaver dog also seemed to signal that it believed.
Scold. 'Twas brawling in the slithy toads did gear in the jumble wave, on mimsy were the vertigoves and the mome rats out grave. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub sure bird and shun the firmerest bandersnatch. Scold. I'll let you up here, but no screaming at me. Don't scream at me.
I'm talking a whisper.
Perfect.
I'll go.
All right.
Something was downstairs. As they enter the basement, Rose explains that the putrid smell was coming from dead rats that constantly break in, eat rat poison, and die throughout the basement. She also stated that there were several bags of rotting garbage stacked up down there that were definitely contributing to the smell. The officers walk through the basement and do in fact see a massive pile of garbage, as well as several different dead and decomposing rodents. They do not spend long, but they are inclined to believe that Rose's claims regarding the smell are accurate. They then leave and thank Rose for her cooperation. The next day, on June 19th, 2012.
Dennis, check it out. If you go look back a few episodes in Scully's work, you will find The Wizard of Oz and Shawshank Redemption and Peter Pan. And I did voice work on all three of those productions live. I was Hadley, the really angry screw on Shawshank. Yeah, it's tons of fun. I wish I could get more people involved in stuff like that on YouTube, because you don't have to be able to make 15 voices to do voice work. You just have to sound like a guard or sound like the freaking maintenance guy or something. You know, you just have to sound like the part. You don't have to have a special voice to do it with. It can be your personal voice. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I would love to volunteer to be an old person so I could practice more for my scam baiting.
Hello, dude. Oh man. Did you have you been checking your emails?
Yeah, I saw you emailed me back earlier.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. Your channel's name is The Smoking Auditor, right? Even if you didn't
smoke more.
No. What you need to do is use your remix button and go to other auditors' channels. Use the 5 seconds to find a cop that, whatever. Just take your pick on the feature that you want to pick on, and then on the video that you go to source your video, go to the comments and see what the people have to say about that cop and get the best 3 comments. And then when you do the reaction part of the video, the remix part where you film it, just straight up smoke that cop and call it Cop Smoking by The Smoking Auditor.
And that's brilliant because I get a whole bunch of free jokes, which I'm not good at making up.
You can even throw it like a little at such and such in the thing, or go clip you a little piece of the actual comment itself and put it up on the screen. I mean, there's all that has an endless amount of growth on it, specifically because your channel is named The Smoking Auditor. Anyone else could do it, it would do well. But with you, the synergism between the name and the channel and the auditor and the cops, it just, dude, you will pick me up in your private jet like Mr. Beast. Just be patient. It might take a year or two, but it will freaking blow slam the funk up. What are we barfing about? You want to suck my blood? You threatened me with a good time.
Adam's mother and father both received the same identical text message from Adam.
Chase's sisters say there were 2 texts on June 19th, one to each of their parents.
It said, staying with
All
a
right,
friend in Canandaigua.
Everybody everywhere in the world that's not subscribed to AJOT, y'all go hit her up. We want to get her 20 subscribers if at all possible, because YouTube's going to hit her with the purge in a couple of hours. You know what the purge is, right?
Something that's going to happen to me tomorrow
at 3 a.m. East Coast time.
I got 9 subs today from that one short.
After I go off alive, when I get done with this video, I want you to explain what the hell.
Yeah, I will.
It matters.
I will.
I'm so baffled because I don't see how you can compare jack stands and pairs.
I don't know. I'll explain it the best I can with the limited knowledge I have.
We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. Maybe
that's an after show thing.
All right, man.
I need time to think.
After receiving these messages, Sylvia immediately places a call to Adam's phone, which is quickly forwarded to voicemail. They both felt that this message was strange and not sent by Adam. Investigators quickly determined that these messages were sent from the city of Canandaigua, but when police responded to the area where the messages came from, Adam was nowhere in sight. Over the following 5 months, search efforts ramped up, and Adam's family continued to contact news stations with the hopes of locating their missing son.
Ontario County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help tonight, finding a missing man. They say 31-year-old Adam Chase went missing on June 14th.
Adam, if you can hear this, you have a place to come home to. Call me, email me, whichever. Just come home. That's it.
Rose would attend these news interviews and press conferences with the rest of the family. However,
all right, so time for my next toast, right? The time has come, the walrus said, to speak of many things, of shoes, of ships, of sealing wax, of cabbages, and of kings, of why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. Skull! You're welcome.
She always appeared uninterested or just plain over it. It was also around the time of this particular press conference that Rose stated that the man that she was seen kissing in the photograph was now her new full-time boyfriend. He had even moved into the house where Rose and Adam had lived. This did not go unnoticed, and Adam's family became even more determined to link his disappearance to Rose, as they all felt that she had become distant and was not putting any...
Sorry, I missed that. I seen it roll by, but I thought it was somebody else saying it. Yeah, hey, boo-boo, you do a decent Yogi Bear. That's pretty cool. Put him up, put him up.
Yeah, Yogi.
Yeah, I need somebody to do boo-boo. If I could get some dude, we could make some, we could make some killer shorts. They'd probably all get copyright claimed. I can't do Popeye. I used to be able to, but when I had my teeth redone, I can no longer do the Popeye, the thing. It doesn't work.
I just make up random voices and put names to them so I can talk to people on the phone. I literally get 20 to 50 calls a day.
If I was you, dude, I'd get one of those 2 SIM card phones. So you can have a real number that people can actually call you from and just go throw the other one absolutely everywhere. No, I want you to do the cop smoking series first, damn it. I'll help you.
I have a text down number for that too.
Energy into helping locate him. So in November of 2012, they went on to hire a family friend and private investigator named Rodney G. Miller to help with the case. Rodney's first course of action was to speak directly with Rose. So in mid-November, he visits Rose at home and introduces...
If you wish, Kat, I will go looking for the real source of Popeye, and we'll do it. We'll take a look at that at the beginning of the next show. We'll use it for the first video. How do y'all like that?
Robin Williams is the best Popeye.
My daughter, well, Robin Williams is the best whatever the hell he fucking does, dude. So that's not saying a whole lot. He was the best genie. He was the best freaking Jumanji player. He was it's even in 1 Hour Photo, which is an absolutely horrendous film. It's terrible. You don't want to go to a theater and watch that. I wasted $14 on that goddamn trash. Perfectly fine. Not a date film at all. It was like, oh, the most thrilling movie of the... Me and my wife loved thrillers. This is awesome. Dude, it was 2.5 hours of sitting there staring at a bald Robin Williams pretending to be somebody else. No, thank you. Can I have some free popcorn? This sucks.
No refunds, no substitutions.
I did actually. I was going to the movies pretty regular for a while, and there's this one cinema up out of town over here, and I got in pretty tight with the night crew up there or whatever. And if I went to a movie that sucked, I would go up there and tell them this movie fucking sucks. What else is playing? And I'd go to a different theater. It only worked when I was alone. So I don't know. Maybe he was a little sweet on Sasquatch, but that's okay.
as himself. He asks if she has any information that could possibly help him, and she seems withdrawn while replying that she told investigators everything that she knows. Rodney then asks if he can walk through the house.
What did
Rose
I say?
agrees, and Rodney walks through the entire home, also noticing how filthy it really was. In the basement,
All
he
right,
also
hey, John,
notices the
if you're in
distinct
chat,
order of
since you're in chat, do you want me to leave you running until I'm done, or do you want me to end it just in case?
And if I said something wrong, I'll shut my mouth.
Right.
Not until he leaves my channel, he won't. I will not permit it. Yeah. See, when he's a 5 million sub channel, I will have the content to go. I knew him when. Or, you know, if he commits multiple homicide.
I mean, I have over 9,000 bodies hidden. They haven't been found yet. I'm good.
9,000?
Rats and old garbage. Rodney reluctantly believes her story and then leaves the house. On his way out of the house, he walked past a living room where a TV was turned on. He sees that Rose's boyfriend was relaxing on the couch and watching TV, seemingly very comfortable. Rodney.
Hey, Westside. I noticed you've been doing a whole bunch of like outside streams and stuff here recently. When I do a Sasquatch Shills, I let the guest stream to their channel if they want to. Walk them through the whole process of setting up, and I provide titles and descriptions and all that cool stuff too. I'm sure you've emailed me, but I don't think your email is the same as your channel name, so I can't rightly email back because I don't know who Tough Chick 25 is, or what was it, Limp Snake 13. I don't trust anything that comes from that account, whoever that might be.
And I unfortunately email him like 12 times a day over the last 2 days.
You've never seen an MVTV email, dude. That thing, one email that'll come in on 3 drifts.
Damn.
My man will write me a note. I'm telling you, I'm dead serious when I say this. I could sit down and read NVTV emails as my content, and I guarantee you it would get views. It'd be a little weird. He sends me that. It's not public stuff. It's just he's a writer, bro. He's a professional published writer, like for real.
Yeah, no, you can't give out his private stuff if it's not published yet.
He says he doesn't care, but at the same time, I mean, some of these ideas are absolute solid gold. Then he'll probably never do them.
Then ask him for it.
Do I for real believe in Sasquatch? We've got a few minutes. I'll tell the story. When I was young, there was a drought in Georgia. It was really bad. I live in a swamp. And for the first time in my life, you could actually walk all the way across the swamp with barely getting your feet wet. This is not a euphemism. I mean, when you got to the creek, if you were careful where you stepped, you could walk across it out the other side of the swamp. I've never seen this before or since in my life. So I tried to go hunting one afternoon during this drought, and I was all out there in the understories of the swamp. I'm 15 or 20 feet below the water, where the water level usually is, right? So I'm tooling around looking for whatever was in season at the time. I don't rightly remember because I never found nothing. It was almost 114 degrees and hadn't rained in 36 days. So I said, screw it. I went by my neighbor's house where I kept a little ditty bag of fishing equipment and dropped off some of my hunting stuff, picked up some fishing stuff, and I decided to go back to a sinkhole out in the swamp we call the Medlock Hole. Never in my life have I actually seen with my eyes the Medlock Hole until that day, because the water level is typically 15 or 20 feet higher than it was at this point. And I thought, the old folks had always told us, anytime there's a drought, there's always water in the Medlock Hole. You can always go fishing in the Medlock Hole. I never understood what that meant until I went out there to go fishing that day, and I realized that's a 75-foot deep hole. So even though there's no water flowing across the surface of this place, there is a massive river flowing underground right here at the surface. It is right freaking there. You could see the water boiling. Anyway, In fact, whenever the water's higher, if the water level's a little bit low, you can be drugged upstream to that location in a canoe. I've had it happen a couple of times. A great place to fish. It's amazing what you pull out of that freaking hole. I'm talking gar big as your arm, freaking turtles as big around as a Zulu shield. It's amazing. It's like a lost world. Anyway, sleeping, Kenneth, that's cool. It's not like I make channel for content or anything, you know. I just had a question asked, figured I'd answer it. I encountered an individual out here drinking water out of the Medlock hole who was covered in fur and decided to check out in a rather quick fashion. And I don't mean like walking like normal people. He had this weird sort of not locking knee gait that he hopped out with. And homie looked a little bit like this. This isn't perfect, you understand? But it's where's he at? Is that the one? No, that's not the one. Oh, I know how to do it. I got to do this. He looked at it like it at that with his little Fu Manchu mustache and stuff. Anyway, so I never decided whether this was Sasquatch or some random cousin that happened to walk off the map. I am in Georgia. That type of shit happens occasionally. So I just never mentioned it to nobody for a long time. And when I did mention it to somebody, his first response was, "Oh, so you've seen him?" You know, no, he's been out there for years, and threw out some random name that they called him. So do I believe in Sasquatch? I believe there is something out there that people are seeing and thinking are Sasquatch, Dogman, Mothman, the Goat Boy, the Norwegian Goat Boy, whatever. But I'm not sure it's actually a primate of primeval evolution.
You know, you want to hear a crazy idea one of my friends gave me years ago? And she honestly believes this. She thinks that Sasquatch, Bigfoot, all that everyone sees is Cain from the story of Cain and Abel, since he was cursed to walk the earth forever. Yeah.
I thought Aquanet was something you used to keep your hair still, bro.
He then warns Rose that if Adam were to ever return home to that man living in his house, he won't be very happy, and it could even lead to violence between the two men. Rose then replies that she was done with Adam. She did not want him back, even if he did come home. She was sick of him. Rodney found this response quite strange, but continued on his way out of the house. As he returned to his car, he felt certain that Rose was far more involved in Adam's disappearance than she has been saying she is. He contacts Adam's parents and tells them that he's fairly confident that this should not be a missing persons case. Instead, that he believes that a homicide has taken place. Over the following weeks, Rodney hatches a plan. He was determined to corner Rose into admitting that more had happened to Adam than she was leading on. So he locates Rose's usual babysitter named Sandy and asks her to help him out. She agrees, and they discuss the plan. Shortly after speaking with Rodney, Sandy was then contacted by Rose on December 12th, and Rose had asked if Sandy could take her son Tristan for the night. Sandy says no problem, and so Rose drops off her son for the night. She returns the next morning on December 13th to pick him up. When she arrives, Sandy tells her that she had heard that the police had made a breakthrough in Adam's case and were planning to make an arrest sometime over the next 48 hours. Apparently, Rose immediately started to shake and her skin turned extremely pale. She then said that she needed to go. As soon as Rose drove off, Sandy called Rodney and told him, "This is the time, go now." So Rodney drove straight to Rose's home and approached her as she was entering the house. He informed her that he had built a strong enough case against her that he believes that she will be charged with murder over the next 48 hours. He says that he may be able to help her as long as she tells him where she buried Adam's body. He also stated that he knows that she had the body in the house based on the way it smelt when he walked through it. Rose replied, "I didn't bury it. I burned it." She then explained that Adam's body had been in her basement for several weeks and had heavily decomposed. She then loaded him into the car piece by piece and drove his remains to her mother's property on Haggerty Road in Potter, Yates County. She had actually transported these remains with their 4-year-old son in the vehicle. Rodney Miller then immediately contacted the police and informed them of this breakthrough. The police rushed to the Haggerty Road property and located.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I absolutely trust that man. Do you see him?
with their 4-year-old son in the vehicle. Rodney Miller then immediately...
This man I trust with absolutely everything important on earth. This is a trustworthy individual.
He's very brilliant looking. Has a mind like no other.
That stare is such a believe me stare. I can't help but think he's lying.
Immediately contacted them, informed them of this breakthrough. The police rushed to the Haggerty Road property and located several bones scattered throughout the burn pit. Rose was quickly apprehended and transported back to the Ontario County Police Station, where she took part in an interview. The first thing that investigators wanted to know is where Adam's body was when they walked through the home with the cadaver dog.
So when we were in there the night that we came over, me and Investigator Durgan, where in the basement was he?
The part that I told you the light wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I had skids along the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he was underneath all that stuff that was in that corner.
Okay. All right. How'd you get in there?
I dragged him.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a pretty big guy. And, you know, when somebody can't move, it's hard to move.
It was very difficult.
Okay.
I will admit it was difficult.
They then asked Rose to explain what actually happened to Adam that caused his death.
The day that he called into work, is that when this happened?
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
Him and I called into work so this way we could work things out.
Okay.
He went back to sleep after he called up his boss.
Okay.
I tried waking him up. It took me a while, but he finally got up. He went upstairs to grab a smoke. Then he started to go on the computer, and I thought we were going to talk about this. Started
And then I killed him.
arguing again about the fact that Mark kissed me, and
I just want to say her biggest mistake was giving up the body. If she wouldn't have done that, she couldn't have been charged with anything.
Yeah, they find a big old decomposed area of carpet in your freaking living room that smells just like dead dude. That's pretty heavy corroborating evidence that something died there.
I mean, just leave a whole bunch of dead rats everywhere and rat DNA. You're good.
Just walk around with like just puree a couple. You can't be serious.
It's called bleach, and then you a whole bunch of rat blood. So that way the rat DNA is the only DNA they can find.
I hear the words coming out your mouth. I just don't know if I could do that to my home. Psittacosis, freaking Ebola. I mean, the plague. I can come up with a few reasons not to do that.
I mean, just be a hunter, deer, any type of dead animal.
Tristan. I told him then, no need, Tristan's not yours. He got furious, punched
Cat,
the wall.
I don't know how to take that, bro.
That was the hole
Like,
we saw, right?
I went to grab him.
I don't get it.
He did push me away. I went to grab him again, and I don't know if he tried to push me away again or if I tried to grabbed him wrong, but his foot caught the stairs and
All right.
he tumbled.
If I'm going to be doing a lot of this, I'm going to have to go get a few skits from some movies to answer some of these questions as to what to do with certain circumstances. Specifically, a part of Snatch, where an individual describes exactly how to deal with having an unplanned dead body on hand that you have to deal with. You should probably not pay any attention to me. But go watch Snatch because it's a hell of a movie. And before you watch Snatch, watch Trainspotting.
Down the stairs. I remember.
Hey, Lemmy. Welcome in, bud.
It was a sunny day, and the light was coming in from the window right there. So I grabbed him. He went to push me away again. That's when his right foot caught the edge of the stairs, and he just tumbled.
The biggest problem with Rose's story is that if it really was an accident, all she would have needed to do is call 911 to report the fall, which would have gotten Adam immediate medical attention. Since the remains were already destroyed, there was not enough evidence to determine whether or not Rose's story was even credible. That being said, this statement from Rose is what investigators had to work with in order to gain a conviction against her, be it truthful or not. So they ask her directly why she didn't call the police.
I guess what I'm having trouble with is if this was him falling down the stairs, why do we go through all this? I mean, what do we go through all this for? Help me figure this out, because
At first, I thought everyone was going to think it was a murder. That I offed him on purpose. And then after I hid the body, and the dogs came in.
Am I supposed to answer that seriously, Swiss? Because my guess would be that your standards are unconscionably high. I saw your pinky ring, remember? Unconscionably high. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, hit up a couple of dope boys, you might have a better chance.
I was going to turn myself in several times. But the thing that kept shying me away from turning myself in was how his family acted.
What do you mean by that?
As in, what they were doing was, pissing me off. How about they were, saying that I did all this stuff without physical evidence, and it really pissed me off, and I just wanted.
So this drags on mostly because of their treatment of you after this happens?
Correct.
Is that okay? All right.
Not only is Rose a horrible liar, but she is also deluded while exhibiting symptoms of obsessive-compulsive disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. Instead of trying to save her high school sweetheart's life, she became convinced that everyone around her would immediately believe that she was a murderer. So she took every step that she could think of to remain in control of their perception, while having no regard for human life. When Adam's family saw through her lies and began to believe that Rose did in fact murder their son, she acted resentfully and took whatever steps she felt could negate their beliefs. During all of this, one thing that investigators could confirm was that Rose did in fact go to extremes in order to dispose of her husband's body.
When you were taking him out of the house, did you cut him up or anything? Did you need any tools or anything? Or
No.
Because if you did, where would those be?
He just fell apart.
Okay.
He just fell
How long
apart.
have you been there?
What body? Should never told him where it was.
But he just fell apart, yo. I didn't kill him. He just died
so badly from the rats eating him that he was already in pieces.
Well,
That's why all that was left were not on bones that I disposed of by giving him a proper burial because it was the Christian thing to do. I made a mistake. He fell down. I didn't know what to do, and he was already dead as far as I knew. I put him in the basement. The rats ate him. I didn't know what to do then. I felt like I had to do the right thing, give him a Christian burial. There you go. That would have solved a lot of her problems.
Oops. I didn't mean it. I don't know if that'd fly, dude. I
didn't know. I was just trying to do the right thing by giving him a proper burial and stuff.
Not notifying any. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll go with it. Sure.
8 weeks.
Okay.
Following this interview, Rose was charged with second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and endangering the welfare of a child. Throughout her court proceedings, she stuck to her claims that Adam's death had happened as the result of an accident, and that Adam had died when he fell down the first set of stairs. Although she admitted to pushing him down the second set of stairs into the basement, she stated that she was confident he had already died from the first accidental fall before she did so. Rose claims that she then covered his body up with a blue kiddie pool.
Bro, I'm not even in this interview, and I need a lawyer. Like
exactly.
This guy would give me vicarious guilt.
Dennis said it earlier with me. Plead the fifth, ask for a lawyer. She would have done that from the very, very first second. She would be free and innocent.
I don't know how innocent she'd be, but she
No,
might be.
free and considered innocent because she was never convicted by a jury of her peers.
Okay, yeah, but that don't,
and then stacked lumber and several bags of garbage on top of it. Adam's body was still in this position during the initial search, while investigators were accompanied by the cadaver dog. Rose's trial began in October of 2013. During the prosecution's opening statement, Ontario County District Attorney...
So dogs are not infallible. So why do we trust them in a court of law when we won't trust a lie detector? They can get
animals have a more unlikelihood of doing bad than good, or
handler. The handler is the one that's corrupt, not the dog. The dog's just doing what it's trained. If you have a corrupt handler, that's an issue.
Attorney R. Michael Tantillo told the jurors that as they hear the evidence and view the video of Rose's interrogation, it will become crystal clear that this was no accident. Instead, it was a crime of passion in which Rose chose not to call for medical assistance. Then she took the steps to cover up his death and dispose of his body. During the defense's opening statement, Public Defender Leanne Labb urged the jurors to keep an open mind and not jump to any conclusions, proclaiming that what happened to Adam was an accident and Rose made a mistake by believing she could not call for help. She said, "There's a big picture. It's not just about Adam Chase. It's about a marriage. It's about a family. And yes, it's about Rose Chase, whatever that means." The trial lasted 2 weeks. However, the jury only needed 4 hours of deliberation before reaching a verdict.
The jury actually deliberated a total of only just about 4 hours, or a little bit more than 4 hours. So that suggests to us that
many years ago, I trained back before they decided that German Shepherds are the end-all be-all to police dogs. I used to train Alabama Red Beagles in cadaver search, illicit substance identification, stuff like that. And one of the tricks that I figured out that they were doing in the process of training them was this: we couldn't train them to find weed or cocaine or meth or anything like that, and so we used alcohol. And it wasn't until we had been doing it for a couple of years that we realized alcohol, well, actually, there may not have been alcohol in the gasoline back then, but there was later. And so every single car one of our dogs would be put on would immediately get alerted because they had alcohol in the gas. So yeah, they're wrong a lot.
that they felt the case was pretty strong and probably moved toward a verdict, to the verdict that they returned pretty quickly.
Without Rodney, we wouldn't be here today.
Why do you think that?
Because he's the one who found him. He never gave up.
I'm happy she was convicted. We worried when some of the testimony was replayed. It always puts that lump in your throat that you wonder what they want to look at or what they want to consider. But in my heart, I knew God was going to take care of me. He helped me find him. I knew he would take care of me. The jury did a good job. And Mike Tantillo, for what he was given, you couldn't ask for a better DA as far as I'm concerned.
Obviously, the work of Rodney Miller was fantastic, and I think Sylvia's right. This case may not have been solved without his doggedness.
What's up, Keto? Good to see you, bud. We lost Age out a little while ago. I don't know if she's coming back.
Rose Chase, and I think set up her state of mind when she actually gave this all up in December. And I don't think that would have happened without the Chase family keeping the pressure on the way that they did.
After the verdict was read, Rose was given a chance to speak. She said, "I could stand here and tell you a heartfelt apology for what happened, but my friends know what's in my heart and that I'm not a bad person." Rose Chase was sentenced to 24 years to life and an additional 1.5 years for endangering a child. The child endangerment conviction was overturned in February of 2018, claiming that it was not based on legally sufficient evidence.
Rose Chase, the Ontario County woman convicted of killing, dismembering, and burning her husband's body in 2012, had a misdemeanor conviction reversed last week. Court documents say Chase was not guilty of endangering the welfare of a child. That charge had stemmed from her then 4-year-old child riding in the car with her as she transported remains of her late husband from Ontario County to Yates County. Her convictions of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence both stand, and she's currently serving a sentence of 24 years to life.
Rose Chase
These
is currently
nuts.
an inmate at the Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison for women in Westchester County.
All right, so tell me something, Smoking Auditor. Got a question for you. No? Yes? Maybe. You'd have to unmute yourself in order to make yourself known. I have the true story of Davy Jones. Lost media no one will ever find. A Harvey Freebird video I've been meaning to bring up for like weeks. And a twisted case finally solved by podcast. Which one do you think would be more
Wasn't there also a case solved from Reddit, or a few of them from Reddit somehow?
I'm sure. I haven't found one yet. Yeah. We also have the Call of Cthulhu by Dr. Seuss. Ironically, it doesn't make Call of Cthulhu cute. It makes Dr. Seuss creepy.
I missed a whole bunch of stuff. The last like 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
All right.
I was getting food ready for people.
So this is Harvey Freebird. I'm pretty sure everybody in both of these chats are perfectly familiar with who Harvey Freebird is.
Right? I may sub for him or mod for him and sub.
I might simp for him a little bit, maybe.
No, I don't simp for anyone.
I think I screwed that up. Try it again. No, Dr. Seuss. So let it be written. So let it be done. Yeah. H.P. Lovecraft as done by Dr. Seuss. Yeah, it's actually pretty freaking good considering the fact that, you know, it's H.P. Lovecraft. It's absolutely killer, bro. All right, so this is the Harvey Freebird video. He's highlighting an individual who gets pulled over apparently a few times by this particular cop individual, right? And you can start your cop smoking campaign right here.
Hold it. I'll smoke him right now.
This video.
When someone tells you they own land and you can't prove they don't own it, they most likely own it. Don't be stupid enough to pull someone over, get upset that they flip you off, know their rights, and then go harass their father. And harass their father by trespassing his father off his son's land. That cop deserves to be smoked. If I'm right. I might be wrong. Maybe I remember the wrong videos.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I saved this one a few days ago because it was especially poignant to me at the time. I guess it's time for another toast. Yes. While the world's tripping, I'm sipping. I don't give a flying paraplegic chicken. Watching the cars. We don't need bars. We got a garage, a cooler full of beers. Fucking entourage. Skull. Yeah, this is going backstage pretty soon, y'all.
Video comes to us from the YouTube channel Rob Huff. This happened in Sussex County, Virginia, and it was uploaded on May the 28th, 2023. And in my opinion, this looks like a clear-cut case of police harassment. This man gets pulled over, and this officer says it's because he heard shots fired in the area. Now, cops must have reasonable suspicion that a traffic violation or a crime has occurred to initiate a traffic stop. Now, this man, Rob Huff, handled this traffic stop beautifully. He knew his rights, and this obviously upset the officer, which led to future harassment and unlawful arrest, which I will get to shortly. Let's get to the video. See y'all later.
What's the problem?
I got a shooting range or something over there.
My property.
Yeah.
I ain't coming to attitude. I'm filing a complaint that somebody filed.
Okay.
Do you have a shooting range over there and everything?
No, just my property.
That's your property?
Yeah.
Okay, so people currently shooting over there now?
What's going on?
So we get a call of shots fired in the area.
They were in the county. Yeah.
Listen, anytime shots fired in the area, you got the ID on you, sir?
I haven't committed a crime.
Right now, there's an investigation going on. So
He has not suggested a crime has been committed. I'm not sure how it works wherever this guy's from, but here inside the city limits, there is no gunplay permitted whatsoever. If you fire a shot, you better kill somebody. It's the only way you're not getting charged with a felony. However, if you are outside of the city limits and you fire a gun, well, that's just a Tuesday.
sir, for shots fired in the area, and I need to know who I made contact with.
I haven't committed a crime.
I'm with Sussex Sheriff. I identify myself.
I haven't committed a crime.
Sir, what's your name?
I haven't committed a crime.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Rob. It's a pleasure to meet you, Hudson.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we got a call with shots fired in the area.
I just want to say real quick, for this officer to pull this man over and say it's because he heard shots fired would be like pulling him over and saying, we heard that you were breathing. You can't just pull somebody over for no reason, officer.
Do you own? You say you own that land up there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long you live up there or just land?
Just land.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So originally called is shots fired in the area. Anytime shots fired in the area, we got to come. If it's hunting, hunting time, we get a lot of calls. So we have to investigate because we don't know what's going on. I don't know that it's land back there. I don't know that that it belongs to you. I don't know that you shooting back there or whatever. I don't know that stuff. So I have to investigate. When a citizen call, we have to investigate.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm investigating.
False.
So again, you got your ID on you.
No, it's
Hold
not.
up, pause it.
I didn't make it. I didn't.
I'll lay down another bombshell here. The only person, there's only one person that called in, was an off-duty officer that lived in the area, which is why the response got so dramatic.
He's going to cover that in a little bit. He gets into who called, when, where, and why, and all that stuff. Harvey Freebird's an excellent guy to go over this type of stuff because he doesn't leave details out.
I may or may not have watched this video and several others about this video and the next one, which should be his father if he gets that far. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, that might be considered a breach of the peace if it could insult someone in public. But I don't see the difference between farting and saying something. It's a noise that comes from the body. Wind through a fucking hole.
Break any laws.
Yeah, so we got a call of a red truck that shots fired in the area.
Okay.
So again, I'm investigating. It's an ongoing investigation. So do you have shots fired in the area?
That's a crime?
Yes, sir. Around the roadway,
No,
the
it's
houses
not.
in the area. Yes, sir.
There's absolutely no way that is a crime because law-abiding citizens have the Second Amendment and can purchase firearms however they wish. Honestly, how you get a firearm is less important than what you do with it.
And as long as you're not supposed to have a firearm because you've lost your Second Amendment right, you do not have to register your firearm then because of the Fifth Amendment.
Fourth Amendment?
Fourth Amendment.
Okay. All right.
No, it's the Fifth Amendment.
That's the right to remain silent. Anything
Yeah.
you say will be used against you. I have the right
Since
to
you're not supposed to own one, you don't have to register it, so you would get in trouble if you did.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I thought you might have misspoken on the first pass through, but you said it right, and you're correct. Because if you attempt to register a firearm and you are a prohibited person, it will register in the system and you will be arrested for felonious possession of a firearm. Gotcha.
Yep. But as long as you don't register it, they're not allowed to legally charge you for it.
Right. Which is okay. All right. Moving on yet again. Moving on.
Sorry.
Moving on.
Going back, the only thing I got is a red truck. So
I'm just gonna exercise my Fifth Amendment right at this point.
Okay, that's fine. I need your ID though, sir.
I'm not gonna ID myself. I haven't broken the law.
Step out the vehicle for me, sir. Step back there for me.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures.
I'm not searching this. I need to know, do you have your ID on you? I need to know who I made contact with, sir.
I haven't broken a law. Can you articulate a law that I've broken?
Right now, you must identify yourself, sir, because I have made contact and there's an ongoing investigation.
I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right.
So you refuse. So now you're refusing to identify yourself to me.
You haven't articulated a crime.
Is an ongoing investigation of shots fired in the area, sir.
It's not a crime. It's in the county.
You're missing the whole point, sir.
I am not giving up my Fifth
I think you're
Amendment
missing.
right.
Their land belongs to you.
Right.
Shots fired is not a crime.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any
Not in the
backstops
county.
behind any shooting that's going on back there?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Okay, that's fine. Give me 1 second.
Can I see your supervisor?
He is a supervisor, sir.
Can I see your supervisor? I allow people to hunt on that property as well. So when they're hunting, is that a crime?
How much land you got?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Okay. And why? Why? I'm just going to answer.
Because I have a Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Okay. So
you swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, didn't you?
Sure did.
Can you articulate to me what the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution is?
Yeah, I can, but I'm not gonna, because you obviously know it. Okay. So this is my question.
Second and third?
All right.
I bet you don't.
If
I don't answer questions.
you want to assert your rights, I have no problem with that.
I'm being illegally detained at this point.
Okay.
If we want to be more courteous about it, I'm sorry, sir. I don't have private conversations with public officials. Oh, Gabby, I'm so sorry. Dude, they're so sensitive. So sensitive. Such sensitive boys they are.
Well, we're in the middle of an investigation.
Of what crime? It's not a crime. You can't even articulate a crime. I have no obligation to assist you in your investigation. Right?
Okay. So my question to you is this: you want to ask me a bunch of questions?
I don't
you
answer
don't
questions.
Answer my questions.
Yeah, that's
why
your
are you being
job.
difficult?
I'm a citizen.
I don't
of
answer
America. We have
questions.
the Constitution. I know
Okay,
y'all don't
but that doesn't
believe in
answer
that
why
anymore.
you're being so difficult.
Because I don't answer
I don't
questions.
have to answer any of your questions, officer.
I plead the Fifth. If you wish to interrogate me, please get me a lawyer.
Sorry, I think you guys are tyrants.
Okay.
Yeah. If y'all actually upheld the Constitution like you swore an oath to do, then yeah, I would answer questions. But y'all don't do that anymore. You're fucking tyrants anymore, man. No offense to you. I mean, I'm sure you might be a good dude. I know. I don't know. I know y'all are sitting here wanting to ID me and violate my constitutional rights.
Okay, but getting your ID is not violating your rights.
Yes, it certainly is. That's the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution.
And how?
How is it? Yeah. Because I don't have to have any searches or seizures. You can't search or seize anything unless I've been suspected of a crime.
Okay.
Am I suspected of a crime?
I'll leave that up to my partner, sir.
There you go. You got to articulate a crime, and I'd be happy to ID myself if you can articulate a crime that I've broken or if I've done something wrong.
Okay. Well, technically, we have enough to stop you for the incident that we're investigating. And technically, if you want to get into the aspects of the law, you're just driving down the road. We have a right to see your driver's license registration.
No,
not unless you pull me over for a traffic
if
violation.
The law.
Okay.
What's the law? What's the law that I violated?
Operating a vehicle on the roads of the Commonwealth.
That's against the law?
It's not against the law.
Well, then what the fuck do you need my ID for?
Once you have been stopped for a reasonable suspicion, you don't need
suspicion of what crime? You can't articulate a crime.
Didn't he already tell you that?
Only if we live in China or Russia.
It's not reasonable suspicion. You need to talk to a better lawyer.
I'm talking to nobody.
Wrong answer, also.
A crime is not reasonable suspicion. A crime is probable cause.
RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion. If you can articulate
For detention,
reasonable articulable
my man's saying the right shit. The cop is completely off base. They need reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime is being committed in order to detain him. They need probable cause in order to either arrest or search him or acquire a warrant.
And or to give you a ticket.
I'm happy to ID myself.
If you want to play the reasonable, person standard, we'll play that. Okay. So we're responding to a shots fired call. We have a witness that sees your truck driving from that area, and now we're talking to you. That's reasonable suspicion according to Supreme Court.
Crime?
All day.
What's the crime?
Shots fired.
That's
we're investigating it. Well, no, I don't have to. No, I don't have to have a crime to stop you. I don't have to have a crime to ID you. I don't have to have a crime to talk to you.
Absolutely, you do. completely,
something
totally
wrong, I
wrong.
would do
In every single state of the union, they are training cops like this. They don't need a reason. They don't need a response. They don't need a call. They don't need nothing. They can just ID you. They haven't even asked him if he has a gun. They haven't asked him any relevant questions to anything involving a crime or a shooting. All they have done is demanded a small piece of plastic that supposedly will tell them whether or not he is doing criminal activities currently, because that ID like crack. And as we all know, crack is a hell of a drug. Don't bother. I just screwed the whole pooch. Hold on.
Myself. You tell me what I've
No. Back to tab. Do it right. Skadoosh.
done wrong.
Show me where in a law book anywhere that reasonable suspicion equals a crime.
Welcome to Sasquatch Radio, where the technical issues are part of the show.
It doesn't.
This is a Terry stop?
It doesn't.
Is this Terry v. Ohio? Is this a Terry stop?
Okay. No, I don't think it's a Terry
There
stop.
you go.
Okay.
It's not because I say it ain't.
So this is a.
Does he even know what Terry stop is? Probably not.
No way in
It
fucking
is
hell that
regulations that have to
fucking
follow.
pig
We are
knows
gonna
what.
report it. They are going to come investigate your area that you're shooting over there. Again,
I mean, he thinks he has to have probable cause, so he can't do a Terry stop. Terry stop only requires RAS.
Let me carry this a little bit further down the road. If we're going to be toting water for the government, let me tote the water just a little bit further for you. So, homies over here, because a shots fired call came in. Now later we find out who called it in and all that silly shit. But beyond that, shots fired in a county is typically not a crime at all. It's not a crime. It's not even a concern. It is Americans doing natural American shit. Whenever you hear people saying make confused American noises, it's shots fired. That's confused American noises. If we don't know what to do with it, we're going to put a bullet through it and then decide. We started using the metric system to measure things just to kind of settle things worldwide, but we only used it for important things like bullets.
And that one random bolt on your car that's underneath and takes 3 extensions to get to.
Fucking 10 millimeter. You are correct. We used it for 2 things. I was wrong. Bullets and the 10 millimeter socket, which I still haven't found.
home.
Good luck.
You will be charged. Okay.
There's still no crime.
Yes, it is a crime. You can't shoot within 30 feet of a home, sir.
How many feet was that in?
You're good to go, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
No.
So it's obvious that Sussex County sheriffs are harassing this man, and the harassment continued after he was let go from this illegal detention. As you can read here, what he had in the description of the video, it says, "Police let me go from this illegal detention only to arrest my father for trespassing on his land. I told them they were not welcome to enter. My nephew called me for help, and I was arrested for trespassing on my property. I was ultimately cited for cussing in public on his private property." And then he makes a call out to the civil rights lawyer, lackluster, and honor your oath. I'm not as big as those guys, but I will help you get your word out. All the contact information will be in the description on Rob Huff's channel and the Sussex County, Virginia Sheriff's Department. It definitely sounds like Rob Huff has a lawsuit.
Agreed.
In my opinion. Of course, I am not an attorney. And
The fact that most
advice.
of this took place on private property basically removes it from the public question. The second those officers walked off of the street, you fall into the private property sector, and what the landowner states goes unless otherwise indicated by law, like hard and fast law. I'm not talking case law. I mean like law of the land law, fucking constitutional law. On my private property, you gonna play hell telling me what to do.
The only ones, when they arrest him and his father, the only ones in violation of trespassing were the cops. If you watch that video, you will be disgusted at those cops. Or you should be, in my opinion. He's a 71-year-old man. You don't mess with senior citizens.
All right, I'm going to drop the StreamYard link in chat again. If anybody wants to come up backstage, discuss some. I'm going to try. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the right one. Nope, that's the wrong one. Anybody wants to talk about a spot scheduling? I've also got a show I call The Problem, where if you notice some kind of corrupt bullshit going on in some particular area or whatnot, and you want to say, hey, there's some corrupt bullshit going on over here, fucking get the links, bring it to me. We'll talk about it. I guarantee you I can make 3 hours out of just about anything. So there's the StreamYard link for backstage. Anybody wants to come in and do it. Smoking Auditor, you want to tell anybody everything? Hold on. Shit, I fucked up. You want to tell anybody anything before we go?
Yeah, good morning, good evening, and good night. See y'all in the next live stream. Peace out from Ohio, yo.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, bro. So I'm going to go over here and hit this little going out of business button that I got. Actually, I got a whole bunch of cool stuff over here. But no. We stick to the plan. Stick to the plan.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Hey, she was a cutie in a sundress. I told her I just had to confess. I got a crush on you, darling.